Yes, hello and welcome to On The Esky, episode number 2 from the new studio after a few months hiatus. Boys, crazy week in the world of sport. We had the record-breaking week from Alex Johnston, Friday night, 41-odd thousand in there at Allianz Stadium to see him break the NRL try-scoring record and the storming of the field that happened afterwards. We'll wrap up the week that was in the NRL and the AFL. We have 2 minutes left to go here as the Dolphins have a narrow lead against the Titans. We'll go into some NBA. Bam Adebayo goes mental, puts up 83 in the NBA. The Lakers are also looking pretty good going into the pointy end of the season. A massive week in the NFL free agency, particularly the big backflip from the Ravens on Max Crosby failing his medical. We'll talk about that, plus all the other big moves in the NFL. Matilda's through the semis of the Asian Cup. Spurs, good chance they actually get relegated. We've sort of been on the radar for the last month, but it's not looking good for Tottenham, that's for sure. We'll have a look back to UFC 326, and the White House card has been announced, and the F1 kicked off last week in Australia. We had the China F1 just finish up, so we'll talk all things there in the final round. This is On The Esky, Aussie Sports Podcast, like our Aussie Sports, like our US Sports. On YouTube, we will have timestamps. You can skip to the ones that you like. And if you're joining us for the first time here on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. We also have socials, and the app comes out later in the week on Spotify. Shauno's on my right, Monk's on my left. We like to start off this show by shouting a beer to commemorate good performance in the sporting world this week. Shauno, you love your motorsport.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got this week?
Well, I have to sneak my NASCAR in a little bit. So I'm going to shout a beer out to Tyler Reddick, because if you hadn't been following the start of the NASCAR season, he has won the first 3. They've had 4 rounds, 5th round tomorrow. But he did win the first 3, and he drives for 2311, which is Michael Jordan's team. I was just like, it's not club, it's team. So he's...
Are they new? 2311?
They've been around 5 years, 4 years. No, they're not super old. They're one of the youngest teams, of course, in the NASCAR.
Yep.
But they are quickly becoming a bit of a force. And, of course, Jordan loves his NASCAR, and he was at all 3 races, helped celebrate. But the main thing out of that, Tyler Reddick, first driver in NASCAR history, so going back, almost 80 years, I think, in NASCAR motor racing to win the first 3 races to do it. So pretty impressive start for them, and we'll see how their season unfolds. And his teammate, Bobby Wallace, has also been doing very good. So they've been a pretty strong team overall to start this NASCAR season.
Bobby Wallace, any relation to Ricky Bobby?
No.
Going first to last, baby. Hunks,
that's it.
Gonna sneak a bit of rugby in here.
Yeah, you might sneak a little bit more than just a little bit.
Someone's got to talk about rugby.
Someone has to talk about it once a year. So I'm going to shout the France national team for winning the Six Nations. I believe that was overnight for us. So their 20th title. Probably not too many more details I've got for you outside of the fact that they were top point scorers and had a couple of top try scorers as well. So definitely were able to put points up.
Did you see the score in the game from England overnight? It was 48-46, I think.
Very high scoring.
Nice.
Yeah.
Almost an NRL game.
Yeah, at the moment. We'll get to that in a second.
We will. But yeah, shout a beer for the France national team. I'm sure they can put a few brewskis away.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy responsibly, of course, French national team. I may as well chuck it out, honourable mention there in my shout of beer for the Italian rugby team, because they knocked off England last week. So pretty historical stuff. They've beaten the Wallabies the last few times. The Wallabies have been over there, and they've knocked off England. A bit disappointing this morning against Wales. They couldn't win the whole Six Nations, but they could have finished high up on the table there. And look, good time for Italians in sport. They've just hosted the Winter Olympics and come second on the medal tally, I believe, there in Milano Cortina. And Shauno, resident sort of baseball head, put me up to the fact that they knocked off the American baseball team in the World Baseball Classic this week, which is currently underway. They're through to the semis. They play Venezuela, hot off having their leader taken by the Americans. So they'll smash them and they'll be through and beat the Americans in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes,
I was actually having a look at their roster. They've got a fair few players in the Major League Baseball, the Italians. So quite an international league, the MLB. My brain sort of goes straight to Central and South America or Asia, Japan, and Taiwan when I'm thinking baseball players. But yeah, it looks like the Italians are getting stronger in baseball. So shout out to the Italian baseball team. Enjoy your beer, courtesy of the Esky.
Is that because not enough of them playing football anymore?
Yeah, well, maybe they think we can actually win this World Cup. Maybe we'll switch to baseball and rugby.
I know where all the sports funding's going to.
Well, nice that you mentioned it. The traditional juggernaut of Italian sport, the Azzurri, they play not this week, next week against Northern Ireland in their first semi-final to go the long way through for the World Cup qualifiers. So I think there's still 4 spots left in Europe, but it's all very
Got to win out though.
yeah, it's all rigid, right? So the other side of their pool now is Wales and Bosnia, I believe. So they've got to get through Northern Ireland, and then they've got to get through winner of Wales versus Bosnia. So 1 in 4 chance for the Azzurri to make the World Cup there.
So going good for the Italians otherwise.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can make the Soccer World Cup. They haven't
Don't
been
miss-
in too many the last few years.
How's their economy going?
I don't
No
know.
politics. No politics.
I don't know if any economy's doing well at the moment, to be honest. Just paid bloody $170 to fill up my car. Yeah, thanks, Iran.
Jeez.
Anyways, geopolitics and fuel prices aside.
Yeah, that's a good segue into the mop for moppery behaviour. But we're going to talk sports mop and go with Lomax.
Well, Zach Lomax cost himself a few $dollars in this hard economic climate. So obviously a lot of hoopla last week, really, when it was all unfolding. The settled just before they went to court. Him and Parramatta versus Melbourne. Parramatta saying, hey, you can't be signing this bloke, he's still under contract to us. Pretty much settled that he can't sign with anyone in the NRL for the next 2 seasons unless Parramatta gave their consent. Had been widely speculated that rugby might come knocking, and this week signed a 2-year deal with the Western Force. Sean, are you believing in the vicinity of 300 or 400K?
Yeah, I think that was the numbers. I think that Eels deal, which was like 4 years, wasn't it? That he signed with them was about 800K a year. So it's good money. Then the rugby league R360 deal came through, and or was the Melbourne deal? It was one of the two, and their expectation was that'll be about 600K. So you're already taking a bit of a haircut from there. Yeah, my understanding.
That would have been the Storm one. So 360 had it happened would have been massive money.
They were like talking $1 million per player almost.
Yeah,
to play 8 games or something.
So yeah, it must be
8 rounds.
Must be what the Storm were kind of saying, and that was probably with them doing the 200,000 they were going to send to the Eels to make it all happen. So that probably makes up the difference.
Yeah, all the brown paper bags.
Yes.
Melbourne.
Yes. So yeah, my understanding, the Western Force deal.
You get a car and a boat, monkey.
Yeah. I was going to say the Storms, you get Hiluxes. That's or Mercedes. That's how they pay you in. Yeah. There's some barrows, if you will. And then yes, I think it was, unless you found it, Jimmy, I think it was 2 years for around that 300 to 400 mark, probably smack bang in the middle.
It might not actually be.
I haven't got a dollar amount.
Yeah.
They've just got a 2-year deal.
I remember
effective immediately.
seeing it floating around. So
Might just be all speculative.
So effective immediate also means I think he's playing
maybe next weekend.
Yeah, you're going to slot him straight back in. But yes, we give him the mop, not for turn his back on all of that, but for the fact that he's fumbled his bag, if you will.
Yeah.
So,
but
having said that, maybe he rolls straight into the Wallabies team potentially, and maybe gets a bit of bag back.
Well, we were talking about the 2027 squad. I think he's maybe a good chance to make this squad. I think walking onto a wing, I think is
very tough.
Yeah,
too many other converts playing.
Well,
on
Suaalii will have one,
Yep.
and then I think Max Jorgensen's pretty handy. And then you've got Mark Nwanga going back to rugby as well, who has rugby background. Plus, insert other winger that we aren't aware of because we don't watch enough rugby. It might be hard for him to nail a starting position for the World Cup. But look, rugby squads for World Cups tend to be pretty big. He'll have a year under his belt, just over a year before the World Cup rolls around. It's not impossible for him to get a Wallabies cap. Yeah,
I was just thinking of outside joke. Would it be hilarious if he then ended up in rugby and then could play fullback? After wanting to play fullback so much in the rugby league.
I wanted to play centre, I think really was, and he wasn't happy that Flano moved him over to the wing and then had a career year and brained it in Origin 2 years ago, and seems like Shane Flanagan kind of knows what he's doing, and Lomax is pretty good at multiple positions, but we're also, and we alluded to it a couple of weeks ago, centre in rugby is a different kettle of fish.
Yes,
so,
it's more like playing in the second row. So.
That's right. So it may be very difficult for him to get a centre's position, but he'll be presumably, in one of the top 5, 6 wingers playing rugby this season.
Yeah, if he makes a squad and the World Cup comes around, then the likelihood is they go through that squad because they play enough games that he might even get some game time. So he might not be first choice, but he might roll into a game where they play against, I don't know. Trying to think of some really.
I always remember back to when we beat Namibia 140-0. But with Australian rugby the way it is these days, you might not be able to play your B side against some of the minnows.
Yeah,
I agree.
Anyways, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
We've still got a whole Super Rugby season, or 2 Super Rugby seasons really to go before the World Cup.
Yeah,
that's it.
So you want to talk some actual NRL then?
Some
in
actual
the
NRL.
meantime,
yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Round 1 did conclude last week, and we did our season preview. So check out that the most recent video, the only other one with this background on YouTube. Going through, we've had a few layups, I think, with Melbourne and Penrith playing pretty good. We all had them in our top 3.
Yeah, we already had them playing grand
one.
final. Give them the fucking trophy already.
So we'll get to that. I think we're over, especially me and you, Monks, on Brisbane. Early days, plenty of time for them to turn things around.
Yeah.
But the Broncos have started 0-2, and Newcastle looking good, playing attacking footy at 2-0. So a little bit off on them, but anyway.
I figured out that you can score points in these games, so a
the
big
rules,
difference from last year.
Well, should we talk about it right now? The rule changes. So the 6 again.
Yeah, Verlander's running football.
Yeah, he likes points.
On the run,
He
yes.
likes points. So the 6 again's gone from it being in the 40 all the way up to the 20, which has meant that teams can really get a lot of momentum going. We saw, say, the start of the Raiders-Manly game last week where the Raiders didn't touch a ball for the first 11, 12 minutes, just mostly due to these new rule changes, and it means teams can get a roll on. We've got the scores up there from round 1. We had
250 burgers.
250 burgers. We had 70 points in Finns and Souths.
Yeah, and 2 other teams scored 40 because that'll be a key metric for round 2.
Yeah. So points. If you like attacking rugby league, 2026 seasons for you.
Yeah, because I think that was interesting. Think about the rule changes. The one rule they didn't do, which I think went really close to actually putting through, was to change that the scoring team retains possession, as in they get the kick back to them. The other way.
The other way around to change that.
Yes. So if you score, then you kick back off to, I guess, the defending team. So essentially, you change over possession. Because rugby league,
like American football.
Yeah, well, a lot of sports, very few sports actually have that where the scoring team actually retains their possession afterwards.
Well, good thing that they didn't change that this year because it could be teams getting absolutely drugged if they change both, I suppose.
Yeah, but I think that was the idea, is maybe that kind of breaks up this flow, because at the moment it's like you score, they kick back to you, you get up 30.
Oh no!
You know what I mean?
It's the battle for field position.
So maybe they should have changed it with these rules.
So this is a rule that they didn't implement
I'm with you.
at the 11th hour, because they trialled it. They went really close, and they said not for this year. But we're seeing so far is like, you score, get the ball kicked to you, you get to your 30,
momentum,
get a set restart, and then you're in the other end and you're scoring again. And then you get that roll on where you score, and then after 10 minutes, you might have put 20, 30 points on.
I wonder if they had that in mind, that, this,
I think it was
change,
definitely
this change to the 6 again may actually make it really one-sided for patches in the game. And if we change kickoff rules, that could be a way to level things out.
Flow as way in the game, how the game goes.
That would have been a massive change, mate. There would have been a lot of angry old.
A lot of boomers would have had it. I think that's why most of the coaches didn't want to do it as well, because it's like it fundamentally changes kind of how the sport is played. But having said that, they've also, with all the other rule changes, it's kind of shown that coaching in defence is very important. And that we see some teams obviously definitely struggle with that, and especially when the fatigue factor fits in, that, you can be, if a highly disciplined team, take Penrith, and you just get a roll on and you can just run through and then have no points scored on you. So
also the fitness side of things as well.
Yes.
I think Panthers and, under Cleary sort of famously very, very fit, conditioning excellent, and they've been really the only team that's been able to be a brick wall with defence under these new rules, but that might be a testament to the conditioning of that club.
Yeah, and I think you kind of see the, I don't want to say shrinking, but the form sort of size across the team as well. You know, gone are the little dudes and gone are the real big dudes.
Yeah.
You kind of everyone's the way I think of it is like everyone kind of could play second row now. Like they could just kind of rotate them around because they're probably just big enough. You know, the outside backs or front rows are probably not too big that they could slide in there. Like they all have that kind of same build. You got to be 6'2", weigh 100 kilos, and that's about your standard average, I'd say, for a rugby league player these days.
Yeah, there's not too many middles over 120, and there's not too many outside backs under 85, which has been the trend anyway. Over the last
I think
years.
this is enforcing it and pushing it further and further. So
everyone's going to be fit, essentially.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to be able to defend. And some of the wingers and centres looking huge.
Huge, exactly. Yeah, they got to make tackles. They're expected to make tackles.
All right, let's kick off the round. The Broncos Eels. Speaking of high scoring, Broncos go down 32 to the Eels 40. That means Brisbane are 0-2, and they play Storm on Friday night footy, so could be looking at 0-3. Interesting, in the 1999 Broncos started their season 0-5 after winning the comp and made the 8. That year. Didn't do much from it, I don't think. I think they snuck in at 8th, but it's not alarm bells just yet for Broncos fans. We do know it's a long season.
Yeah.
We can't,
And
say there needs to be massive changes there at Red Hill at 0-2, but 0-5,
Well,
might be panic stations.
True, but I still think the team, from what we saw, this is kind of what was in my preview, why I had them like third, was I still feel like, they were going to have that slide initially, but they have to get their momentum at some point. That's kind of where I was thinking. Is like at some point they'll hit their form. They've got enough talent and stars, and they'll be able to roll through some of these bad sides.
Yeah, let's have a look at when that might be. So round 4, Dolphins. That's going to be a hard one. Battle of Brisbane. Another Friday night game for Brisbane. Shock me. Gold Coast round 5. There you go.
Just get a win, right the ship a little bit, get some confidence, and then just gotta drink some toilet water and Walsh will go crazy. So
the Titans held their own tonight. So
yes.
Who knows? And we did say in our preview we don't think there's any really, really bad teams in the NRL. But who knows? The way that things are going, that they could go out there and turn things around. And Storm looked
they're
mortal for 60 minutes yesterday.
Yeah, true. They're a classic team that slides into the 8 somewhere, and it ends up being a big dark horse because they've got a great list. So
true.
That's where I see them kind of fitting in at the end of the year.
I do suppose, but can they go on a run like they did? Like that was generational.
Probably not. But you're a team in the finals that don't want to play them essentially because you know what they can do if they do go on a run.
If they finish 7th and you get them in an elimination final at home, you got to think,
exactly. So I think that team's probably highly dependent on their very old halves, and Adam Reynolds pulled up with a bit of a rib injury out of this one.
Cleared of fractures, but
he's probably going to be dealing with some soreness for the foreseeable future. So. Those boys aren't getting any younger, so we'll have to see how that plays out. And that kind of goes in hand with the news that they signed Mitch Barnett to replace Haas, but they do have to send someone back to the Warriors. So there's some talk about what young fella, and they have a young half that I think the Warriors are quite interested in, which I don't think
smacked on air last time when we did our season preview because it was a Thursday night, and maybe it was just. Unlucky running into Melbourne in round 1 because they haven't lost for 23 years or 24 years, whatever it is, in week 1. So Paris steadying their ship, getting the away win. They actually have a really good record recently up at Suncorp. I think they're 4 of their last 5 or 5 of their last 6. Mitch Moses especially up there.
Interesting.
So, massive turnaround for the Eels.
Now the Broncos have to share the home. It's no more their home field advantage.
I suppose.
Yes.
All right, speaking of a team that does get a very big home field advantage and they're playing good footy, the Warriors absolutely smoked the Raiders on Friday night.
In the second half, really. I think it was 6-6 at halftime, wasn't it?
12-6 maybe. I was actually watching this game. Very, very wet conditions there.
It was 6-6 halftime.
It was 6-6, there you go. So one-way traffic there in the second half.
Yep.
I know we spoke a little bit about him 2 weeks ago, but Leka Halasima is some footy player. He played 80 minutes, which he often doesn't do. And when he gets his opportunity, 2 tries, 6 tackle busts, 35 tackles, just looked insanely dangerous every time near the goal line coming off the edge. And Tanner Boyd, that's 2 weeks in a row where he's arguably been the best player on the field. So they're going to have a conversation to have when Metcalf is healthy.
Yes. Yep.
Do you think CHT maybe to the bench. Like, it's hard to go. I've got his numbers there from yesterday. 2 try assists, nearly 800 kick metres.
Where do you think they'd invest their future long term? Probably in Tanner Boyd.
He's not that. Can you get an age on Tanner Boyd? So, like, obviously Metcalf's going to be their guy. It's just who do they want?
Want to pair him like because I'm thinking like what pair do they want long term?
They're both kind of sevens, but Metcalf's a bit more of a running 7 as well. So you could definitely chuck 6 on Metcalf's back and have Boyd wearing 7. And then CHT is a pretty reasonable utility. So maybe back to the extended bench for him.
Yep.
It's also 2 games. See how he goes.
Yeah, next week someone could blow an ACL.
Week 5,
so
week 6.
It's a different conversation. Yeah,
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's right.
Long story short.
Definitely a good problem there for Webby to have. And having multiple options, particularly in the spine, has been a great thing, i.e. Brisbane.
Yep.
Age there on Tanner Boyd?
Tanner Boyd is 25.
Yeah, so a bit younger than I thought.
Turning 26 this year.
Yeah, so you got plenty of good footy ahead of him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, if it makes more sense long term if you want to pair them. It's hey, these are our franchise guys for the next 10 years kind of thing.
The kicking game of Boyd with the running game of Metcalf.
Yep. Speaking of age, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck had his 150th game for the Warriors on the weekend as well.
What's his total count?
Yeah, with rugby, it must be a fair bit.
True.
So 150 at the Warriors. He would have played close to 100 games.
84 for Roosters.
Yeah, there you go for the Roosters.
Rugby unions, he had 33 games at club level.
Yeah.
And then
international
20 for New Zealand in league, 5 for Samoa, and then 4 for New Zealand in union.
Didn't play.
Handy career. How old is he? Be 34?
32.
Young.
Still
Got a fair bit of footy ahead of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kurt Capewell, though, is we go to an old head, calf tear. So is that 2 months?
Depends on the grade, right? So Leo Thompson from Dogs at the moment is out for 2 months so that would be a high grade calf, about as bad as it could be. He's probably had his scans actually because it was Friday night. I don't know. We'll watch this space in the next few days.
Yep.
A low grade calf, he could be back in 2 weeks.
Cool.
High grade, it's bad. And we saw Latrell.
Yeah.
I think he missed 10 weeks. With
he re-injured it though, didn't he?
That's right. So much like hammy, calf recurrence is very high. It's just the number 2 muscle to recur after hamstring. So watch this space. Although if there's a team that's got nice depth amongst their forward pack, particularly on the edges, it's definitely the Warriors.
Yes.
What do you think is Raiders? Pretty ordinary over there. Maybe a bit of reality check for them.
In the wet, I could kind of a toss up. Like you just like, hey, those things happen, kind of thing.
I don't know if Sticky would have said it like that in the second half.
Maybe you probably want more discipline out of them, but I think
Could you put it down to 2 weeks on the road?
It's
2 weeks on the road. Wet
versus
Manly.
a team that's 2 weeks at home. So
Yeah.
Plus coming off Golden Point as well. Like you have those games.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would be too concerned either.
Yeah. Just hate to see it at the start of the season. Like you'd want to have a bit of momentum.
Yep. No, they didn't drop many last year, and they're already 1-1. But definitely long season to go, and it'll be interesting to see as the Raiders come back home. I think they got Dogs down here Thursday night. All right, let's talk about the big game from the weekend. There was 41,500 in there at Allianz Stadium with the feeling that Alex Johnson could potentially make history and go past the great Ken Irvine. I think it's a 56, 57-year-old record.
Yep.
Try-scoring record there for Ken Irvine. And he scored in the 31st minute, so everyone's high alert. I was up and about. I thought, geez, gonna have to keep this one on, and there won't be any AFL coming across tonight, albeit your hapless Bombers, monks.
Let's not talk about that.
And we didn't have to wait too long after that. They went in at half time, and a great try, really, down that left edge.
Yeah, that second try was. It wasn't like a classic wingers try where he just had to put the ball down.
It was a classic Johnston try though, because obviously Mitchell doing a lot of work on the inside.
Gives him a nice gap and he runs 30-40 to put it down. And
he still had to be the fastest bloke on the field to outrun the cover.
He did.
And then incredible scenes. The footage of his wife there with his 2 kids and the first bloke getting to him being
someone
a Chooks fan.
Chooks fan, yeah.
I think that just shows the gravity of the situation, right?
Yeah,
It's
Had to
a
get a
big
picture.
moment for rugby league.
Or is it just that social media sort of aspect? I got to be the first one there.
There's probably
Well, it was interesting because I saw a few angles
I'll play
from
double
the
up,
crowd, and there was a lot of people that went down to the fence and kind of like were waiting. So
just
they're-
waiting for that first person.
So who's gonna? Because they put out a big statement
Yeah.
beforehand. It's like anyone that goes on, you're going to get fined, etc., etc.
Yeah.
5,500.
5,500.
Where's
So,
yours, Albo?
yeah, so exactly. So they were like kind of waiting, and then one came, like the Chooks that comes on, and then 1, 2, and then boom, everyone's gone. So
Floodgates.
yeah, and then following that on with the PM being there, and he doing the same, they announced today that no fines, everyone's sweet.
In the words of Bob
They could have
Hawke,
made so much
if anyone
money.
gets a fine,
Yeah, they could have made so
you're
much
a
money,
bum.
exactly.
You're a bum.
That is very
Incredible.
true, very true.
They had the drone and everything ready to go up above. You
Yeah.
know, that they knew that it was going to be a massive.
Well, after
moment.
he tied it, they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, get everything up, get it ready, and,
That's it.
and get prepared." But
That's
yeah,
it.
massive moment.
Yeah, maybe just use that as a warning to sort of just slow it down so they could actually prepare for it and make sure, like, because Mitchell got taken off like during that play as well because he had a bit of a hard knock. He went to locker rooms early, so they probably just had players' safety in mind first and foremost. And just kind of delay a second and try and clear some people out if they need to.
Well,
and
they
then
spent 10, 15 minutes getting there. They all went back into the sheds.
They did
had
a
to
good
clear.
job.
they
But
did
yeah.
do a good job.
I think they
Compare that
announced
to-
it, and you're like,
compare that to
everyone's,
the buddy one.
yeah,
They
get everyone
took
get off the
ages for them to get
field,
going.
and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, incredible. He's 31. He could score 250 the way he's going. 260 might be something that we never see broken potentially in our lifetimes.
probably.
That's
Well,
it.
if you go that record, I think Ken took it in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It had been that one bloke had it before him since 24, I think it was. So like he had it almost 50 years as well.
Yeah, it's changed
So he
twice
did-
in 100 years.
Yeah, so he took it at about 150, 151, I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
So he took the record and then pushed it to 212 and then has held that, the previous 50 years. So yeah, it's a massive achievement, and it'll be, might be another 50 years before someone, well, with all these teams coming in and, they play more games week in, week out, maybe it'll be a little bit easier we might see more guys push past 200, but it might be, a challenge to see how they
You
go
have to think about the
on
longevity.
TV
John's
for
right
us
now.
as we got it. So
So
So,
you-
our lifetime, probably not gonna happen
Probably not.
for a very long time.
Yeah. So you threw some numbers out there. What would you say are our top 10 try score leaders in the NRL?
We're going to
So
do
we
it.
got
You want to
Yeah, you want to do a top 10?
top
go
10.
for it?
So you got the list there.
I got the list here.
I got nothing here. Sean, are you going to have a crack?
Well, yeah,
We already know
I think-
two.
yeah.
Right,
I
let's
think I
go.
know the five because I remember it. So it
I'm
was
going to give you a stopwatch. Let's go.
it was Ken. Well, it was Ken.
Yep.
Now AJ. So AJ, Ken,
Yep.
Billy,
Yep.
Daniel Tupou,
Yep.
Steve Menzies.
Yeah.
Five.
And then I remember what we were talking about before. If we're trying to get to 10, there's about 3 blokes on 10.
Yeah, so can you get one of them?
Out of car.
Is that
was one of it.
right?
Addo up there.
Yeah.
Who's he equal with?
He's equal with Matt Singh.
Yeah.
And
Matt
this is
Singh,
one
yeah.
I didn't think about. Hazem El Masri.
Yeah, right.
Hasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got six.
So you
And
got
then we
yeah.
had one of the Morris brothers was
Which
in
one?
there. Brett.
yeah.
yeah.
It was
So-
50-50.
So now we've got 7th place, 8th place, 9th place.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. I know one off the top of my head.
Yeah. There
No,
was
that's-
one there that I
You tapping out?
figured.
I'll tap out. I might have
ET's on
just
there. Andrew Eddinghausen.
ET's
Yeah,
on there.
ET. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
We
You got
have
two left?
2 left. So we have someone who played for Magpies going back in the days and Bulldogs.
Yeah. This is the old player. Terry Lamb.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Terry Lamb. And then Manly, Seagulls, sort of our era growing up, 2000s. 2000.
Brett Stewart.
Yep.
Nice.
Brett
There we
Stewart,
go.
yeah.
That's our 10. All right,
That's
Monks,
our 10.
list them off. Top 10 in
Yeah.
order.
So in order, we have Alex Johnson at 213, Ken Irvine at 212. We've got Billy Slater at 190. Daniel Tupou is still active there at 184. Steve Menzies at 180. Brett Morris was at 176. And then ET was at 160. Trey Lamb was at 164. Brett Stewart was at 163.
Yeah.
And then Matt Singh, El Masri, and Addo Carr were all on 159.
159. So Addo Carr's going to go up, but top 5 might be a stretch for the Fox.
Yeah, I think
Potentially.
go back and talk about Daniel Tupou because
Yeah, well, he's going to hit 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should hit 200 this year.
Or this year? What do you say? 184.
Yeah, he's only 16.
16. Yeah.
It's possible.
Yep.
I think. How old's he, by the way?
He's older than Johnston.
He's older than Johnson.
Yeah,
I think by a year.
33
I think
or
we
maybe
looked at this.
2, 33.
34.
34
3 years.
91.
Yeah. So, look, it would have to be a calamity for Johnston. Would have to have some sort of career ender, I think,
for him to take that
Tupou to take it.
at this
but
stage.
there's a good chance he finishes 2.
2.
Yeah. If he
Yep.
plays 2
This
more
year and next
seasons
year,
and
yeah.
doesn't get hurt.
Yep. And also scores at a good clip in that time frame as well.
Yep.
I think he's got 2 already this year.
He scored on the weekend.
Yeah, I knew he scored on this week. I couldn't remember he scored in the first game.
But yeah, interesting chat
Mhm.
because there's going to be a few modern players, and then the Fox is going to be somewhere up there when he calls it
But
quits.
but he's also up there in age too. So yeah,
What's it? If I go down to after Josh Adokar there, the next active player is James Tedesco at 18. He's sitting on 151.
he's old as shit.
And there's
Probably have to go down to
Can he be
like,
the same
many
age as
more
Tupou?
after that.
yeah.
Val Holmes at 116.
That's kind of this is all testament to how incredible that record is.
Yeah,
Because
it's a longevity thing.
But everyone that you're talking about is all modern era or our era growing up. You know, Terry Lamb's the only guy that's sort of left from the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, you just do the math. Like, if you think a good career is 10 years, you got to score 20 tries every year to hit 200. So, like, it's it's like
Been a while.
You actually need to get 21.3 to break the record.
yeah, to break the record, but to hit 200, like, you have to be consistent and also score at a really good clip to get
not
there.
gonna
So,
hurt.
Yeah.
so those rare few guys that might push to a 15-year career, but you also do need to score big numbers. So I wonder if someone like Hammer as a younger would be low on the list, but with what he's done so far, consistency.
Mate, still far longer. He's off to a good start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But can they play for
The longevity.
Exactly,
side of
10, 12 years to get a sniff. Yeah, that is the challenge. So
Yeah, and
it's a very interesting one.
it is the game has changed. So it's not like the AFL, which has gone the other way, where it's going to be highly, highly, highly unlikely to see 1,000 goals.
Yeah, where they spread it around, whereas
Yeah,
now they score a lot of points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, historical,
Massive.
awesome to see. The Chooks won the game.
In the end,
that, but it
That's
was
it.
obviously
I think the
night
big-
locked
DC
Alex Johnson.
I think
DC
the
had a bit
big
of a-
break for them actually might have hurt the Souths because they had the momentum after that and then they didn't score. So
They scored once. That Campbell Graham scored.
right at the end though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which sort of got it within striking distance, but then they already had a 2-point lead, and when Teddy went through, that was just a cherry on the cake. But
It was still a pretty close.
it was a good
It was
game.
a good game.
game,
overall. Yeah.
DCE's merging in well.
He had 6 on his back, I did notice in this game.
and
So
much
it's
better.
interesting.
Much better. Week 2 versus week 1.
Yeah.
I got him in my
Yeah.
Supercoach draft, and after week 1, I was like, "Oh,
But
the bloke's too old, new club." But yeah, he had that try assist at the end to seal the game, and looked
But
a bit more in
Kicking
control.
looked all right, yeah.
well, yeah, did they rotate the roles though between week 1 and 2?
I don't know
Because I thought he started as 7 for week 1. But
it's this. I don't know. I don't know
Very-
if
very,
wearing
very
6
good,
or
very
wearing 7 actually matters anymore. But
Well, I wonder if with that came like a role change. It's like they wanted Sam to do his usual role of be more of a, game managing 7, do more kicking, and then let DCE be a bit more free, which
it's a weird one because they've got 2 true halfbacks, which
Yes,
a lot of teams don't have any.
have basically the
Yeah.
same sort of game type. So yeah.
Anyways, Chooks do win, but the night was about Alex Johnson. Let's roll it into Super Saturday. Tigers got their season off to a flyer, winning 44-16 at Leichhardt. Their doubles to KPP and Luke Luali'i in front of that packed out Leichhardt. I was very excited to see the debut of Hemasi Makasini, as were a lot of people. Highly skilled, massive. Saw what he did in the trials. Didn't bust this game open like he did in the trials, but didn't make too many errors and played okay. But interesting, he's off contract end of next season and already apparently has knocked back the Tigers on extending his contract. So
Yeah, because they probably want to lock him in at a good deal, whereas it's like...
I think I've heard big money already being thrown out at him.
But he might
guys
get big
unproven.
money. Some Dragons team might be like, hey, here's a bit extra and come join us.
Can you play 7, bro? Talking about everyone being the same body type these days, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So it's going to be a watch this space, but it's interesting that they obviously can see the talent, and trying to throw big money at him already. And there's other
try to lock him up.
other teams that be sniffing.
They don't want to do what happened with all their other players previously. They end up as the Roosters. So
let's go.
Yes,
Grant going down to
loan technically, but yes, they have been a feeder club for some of the other clubs out east.
Regardless, Tigers fans got a lot to be happy about. They come off the bye, and I think that was their biggest round one win in the club's history, and the opposite for the Cowboys. When we did our season preview, I think that was $34 when we said before Vegas. They're at to 71 to win the comp now, so absolutely blown out.
Yeah. I think
only the Titans were longer odds.
Yeah, I think our first head coach sacking this year will probably be Todd Payton. It's just a matter of they're going to right the ship, or it's going to be a matter of when.
It's only 2 games. It's only 2 games, but I think you're right. I think he is on the hottest seat. I'm saying they do play the Titans next week, so very, very winnable game.
Toilet bowl
for the Cowboys.
Who's sacks the coach?
They then get the Storm, and then they get the Dragons at Easter, so that could be winnable for them. But that is away, so we'll see how much pressure is mounting on Todd Payton and the Cows. But they've looked pretty ordinary through 2 outings so far, and not against high end teams, you wouldn't think.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think their problems at the moment?
Cowboys.
I think
their list is
just their list.
Just been
turned over. I think they have an aging pack.
Yeah.
Like, Taumalolo's at the end.
Yep.
Nanai's injured.
The Cohen Hess is old. They've had some retreads kind of go up there as well. Haven't really fit in. So and they just haven't. They've lost a lot of their backline talent as well to the other Queensland teams. They've disappeared. So
Drinky being hurt pretty early in Vegas. Like I know he had 2 week turnaround, but his ribs would have been pretty sore yesterday. Look, I can't see them really not being a bottom 4 team, but it's a long season. Then maybe they just need a little get right game against someone like the Titans or the Dragons.
Hopefully not the Dragons.
Speaking of which,
well, mate, I was really impressed for 60 minutes yesterday.
and then Storm realised, like, wait, we're playing the fucking Dragons. And then they turned it on.
There's no Peter Overton coming. It's not 60 minutes, baby. It's 80 minutes. Fucking 80 minutes. And the Dragons just had no answer in the last 20 minutes. I'm a little bit less dirty about the scoreline. 46-20 was the scoreline, which I don't think is fully reflective of how the game was. There was some individual brilliance from one Suafalongo in that last 20 minutes. He scored a hat-trick in 13 minutes. And absolutely, he put Fernay in the blender, like just a little stutter step and gone, and Fernay pretty much fell over, and that was the first try. And then that third try, have you ever seen, we're big NFL guys, you ever seen a spin move in rugby league?
Yeah, well,
not a lot.
The Dragons hadn't seen it before because they all stood around going, what the fuck just happened?
I certainly hadn't.
How was able to run through the line after that as well?
But the acceleration out of the spin as well.
And like, it wasn't a quick spin, like it wasn't
slow
Danny
spin.
Tomlinson type spin.
When you hit,
he was slow dancing his way.
That's right. You hit B on Madden and it like glitches and it goes real slow, and then and he's 10 yards past through the line. That was crazy. That looked like Oztag.
Yep.
The
acceleration was very good.
Nuts. He finished with 3 tries, a try assist, 10 tackle busts, 160 run meters. He was player 1 in Supercoach this week, and I think he was pretty high last week too. Is there a world where they're better with Suafalongo wearing 1 than Pappy?
Classic Storm. We'll just roll out some Origin level talent and just slide in another one.
This is just what we've been keeping on the bookshelf. Yeah.
Is he a Kiwi or Samoan?
I think he's grown up here, so I think this is going to be.
So where's here? It's the question. New South Wales,
in Australia. So here we go. So born in Samoa, raised in Melbourne. So did he play any footy for New South Wales or Queensland before the age of 13?
So I think that just means he's not eligible.
So he's going to be Samoan eligible, I would say, and
but no Origin eligibility.
And is there any Maori in him? So it might maybe just be. So he's born in Samoa.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All his footy in Melbourne. So.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he's just a Melbourne product. Yeah,
Melbourne's close enough for Queensland, isn't
it? Historically, yes.
Just half the Storm players. Yeah,
he played his junior rugby league in the Northern Thunderstruck, the Northern Thunder in the Melbourne Rugby League, and then graduated through the Victorian Thunderbolt system before signing with the Storm. There you go. Well, that might be who's wearing 1 for Samoa, Hammer or someone to the centres. So they're just getting stronger and stronger. The old, in brackets, or air quotes, tier 2 nations.
Yeah, well, I don't think the tier system matters anymore.
Yeah, well, it's going to be
the,
interesting.
with the eligibility changes. Like
No, for Origin, no. It's still going to be
international
a weird
competition.
world.
Yeah.
I
when
guess so, for
Samoa and
tournaments,
Tonga are knocking
yeah.
off Australia.
They're getting there. They're getting very close.
Yeah, it's you give it a few more years, I think it's happening.
Yep.
Anyways, watch him. Storm.
Is he leading try scorer? I'm
5,
assuming.
yeah, he's got 5 in 2 weeks. And the Storm, what they score 52.
Two in the first one,
So they're 98 points through 2 games.
Yep.
Which leads us into the.
Yeah, well, I think up to that point we'd had every game. There's only one game that hadn't been scored. Like a team hadn't put 40 points on. So
this weekend.
This weekend, yeah.
Yep.
It was a bit slower. It was
So,
point scoring
Bruce's
in the last.
knockouts,
Yeah, that was the one that didn't. So of that, so there's only one game that didn't have 40 points up to that point. So I was just like, it's been an interesting round of footy where, once the team's got a roll on, they really went going.
Well, maybe the yin to the Storm's defensive yang might be the Panthers' defence, because they were 18-0 up at halftime and they didn't concede until the 57th minute. There's one system, and the Panthers' system under Ivan Cleary, that is still defending well under these new rule changes. Granted, it's only 2 weeks, but conceding 6 points through 2 games pretty bloody impressive.
Yeah. 100%.
Nathan Cleary doing Nathan Cleary stuff. He had a try, 5 goals, nearly 700 kick metres, 144 run metres out of his 7. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And Nico Hines still has not beaten Penrith since he became a Shark. So 0-6 for Nico, and maybe a little bit of a reality check after they hammered the Titans in round 1.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying in the preview, just the consistency Nico needs to have to be that next level player for his club.
It's hard though.
Like it is hard against Penrith.
Yeah, when they defend the way they're just disciplined and fitter than you. And
yeah, that's it. But is that the X factor that the Sharks need to get them to that next level? Like they're never going to be a tier 1 team, but
yeah, I suppose you put Nathan Cleary on any team, he may be the difference maker. But your halfback can't keep your team, without conceding for 2 hours of footy. That's the whole team, right? But the person who can break the game open is your halfback. Also interesting, their back 4. So Isaac Tungo back to the Reggies, and Tom Jenkins coming into looks like it's going to be starting there. So they might have a bit of potentially some trade capital, and we'll get to Bronson Sherry in a second. But Tungo, who was looking like one of the better centres in the NRL last year, nowhere to be seen from a first grade perspective in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't mind a Tungo at the Dragons, to be honest. Although centre maybe not our biggest need.
Probably not, yeah. But again, kind of like sort of mirroring the Storm, just the pathways for the Panthers. It's just crazy.
Put anyone out there.
Yeah.
Casey McLean's 19. That's crazy. He's already played for New Zealand. He's like looks just as strong as anyone out there that's 25.
Yeah.
Commentator said he's still a teenager. I was like, come on. Like, you're having a laugh. He's still 19.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we've got a team that scored 98 points in 2 rounds, and we've got a team that's conceded 6. So don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but maybe the next 25 rounds are redundant.
Maybe.
Newcastle off to a 2-0 start into Sunday's games, spoiling the party at Brookie, winning 36-16. Tolu Kola actually had 10 games in a row scoring at Brookie. I put a 3-leg multi on, and I am the reason
He didn't score today.
why he didn't score. Yeah, correct. Greg Marju scored in the first minute. Bang, bang.
Yep.
And then who did I have? I had Tommy T. Busted over. Tommy T looking a little bit like old Tommy T in the first half at least. And then, I had 60 minutes for Kolu to score and didn't score. But my gambling aside, the Knights have looked really good in attack 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scoring some points.
Justin Holbrook, eh?
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Giving the ball to Ponga in space seems to work.
Yeah. Is Ponga getting some consistency back?
He done a Hammies-ish kind of thing. So it was a weird one. It was that long one where Bradman Best made the break and then sort of just did the draw and pass and sent Ponga into score, and it wasn't like classic hammy sniper kind of shit. Like he
Okay, yep.
scored and then rolled
That was
over
gonna be
and
my
was
question.
clutching.
Yeah.
And then he went back out, and then
right.
the physios had a look at him, and then he was out of there. And Fletcher Hunt was playing fullback, so that's
Hopefully
going to
just tighten us.
well, that's gonna be a watch. But Dylan Brown as well, MCL again, another one where he was able to sort of play through, and then he didn't come back out after half time.
Is that
Great
the
result
moment right
for
there?
Newcastle. Nah, this is
Really?
not even the right game.
Oh.
this is, I don't know. That's from last year, I think. It was a Sunday afternoon game.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's Ponga scoring.
Okay.
I don't know when that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, check it out. It was like a full field effort.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
so he would have been gassed. But it didn't look like it was like a contusion, right? And I don't think anyone sort of landed on him. I think it looked like hammy. And then Dill Brown had that sort of classic MCL, getting rolled up on from the outside, getting his knee buckled in, was able to sort of play through and then didn't come back out. And I think they've already said MCL, it's just going to be scans and seeing severity. He also does have a partial ACL on that same side. So I don't think he would have looked as good as he did, after the injury and getting around for a little bit if he'd done his ACL. But stranger things have happened. We remember back to Sam Walker a couple of years ago when he had a partial and then scored a try, actually, and it looked like an MCL-type mechanism, and that was enough to do his ACL. So Knights will have their fingers and toes and everything crossed to make sure that hasn't happened, and hopefully it's just a low-grade MCL, and we see him back within a month. Yeah, Knights 2-0. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Not
Definitely
us.
not us, yeah.
Not anyone, I don't think, to be fair.
No.
Top four Newcastle, as it stands. I'll see how they play next week. See how long this run can go for. Newcastle next week, Warriors. So Warriors have to travel to Newcastle. So let's see how good they are outside of.
Yeah.
They have the Doggies in week 4. So you'd think the winless streak comes to an end at some stage, but couldn't have started any better than Knights.
That's it. Well, and for one of those two teams.
Dolphins Titans. We've had this on in the background. It has finished. Dolphins winning 18-14. Hard to fully comment, given
I had to come back in that game, and I think Hammer scored twice actually to make it happen.
Well, we saw the
You saw the
match
last
winner.
one,
Yeah,
the match winner.
off a bomb and
Oh no, hit that long break that then set up the other try.
Yeah, so
Jake Avalo scored. So
that's right.
Yeah,
so Avarillo, then Hammer.
Yep. So yes, they did come back after being behind a little bit in that. Titans, I guess, look slightly more competitive.
Much better showing than last week.
Yes.
They looked awful against Cronulla, and had a lead actually up until late in that game, and it was a bit of individual brilliance from the Hammer to win off the bomb. Scroll right there, monks. If you go down, we can see some player stats. Yeah, that's it. All run meters. Hamisa Tabuai-Fidow, 314 on NRL.com. Wow, 51 post contact.
That's crazy.
Line break assist, try assist. That'll be Dalian votes Hammer, you would say.
Yes.
And also gets the Dolphins off after they lost last week to South. Monks, would you mind bringing up the NRL ladder as we have 2 full rounds completed?
Actually, I think that their win is very important, the Dolphins, because I think the Queensland teams are all the bottom 4 up to that point. So.
Yeah. But then one of them had to win that game, right?
Yes.
Going up to the top.
I think they're still... The other 3 are still at the bottom there.
We'll get down to it in just a second. Storm, 98 points for, incredible, which it gives them a 74 points difference first. Waz 2, points difference 58. Panthers 3, points difference 46, but that
conceded
points against 6, pretty impressive. Newcastle in the top 4, who would have thought? And the Tigers actually have 4 points. The Tigers and Bulldogs both with 1 win, but 4 points from the buys. So we still have 6 teams on 4 points. Into Sharks, Rabbitohs, Dolphins, Roosters, Raiders, Eels. All have 1 win, 1 loss. And then into the winless teams. And the bottom 3 are all Queensland teams. And the winless teams are Manly, Dragons, Broncos, Cowboys, Titans. So that's 2 weeks into the NRL. They've got the odds over there on the far right. Sportsbet still reckons Broncos pretty good. $5. They haven't blown out just yet. But yeah, it's starting to already look pretty long for the likes of the Cowboys, the Titans, etc.
Yeah, at least the Cowboys Titans play each other. So.
I wonder when that was updated, to be honest, because...
I think that's up to date.
You reckon? Grab it from their site. because when I was having a look, there was a few that were a little bit longer.
So it looks like it's the same as the start of the season.
Yeah, that's right. I don't reckon that had changed. Because what we were saying, the Cowboys were out to 71.
Yeah, it changed. It changed. They had the Broncos there at $8.50, not $5.
Yeah, perfect. Go down. There we go. There, that's up to date. Titans 101, and then Dragons, Cowboys, Manly out to 81. So bookies reckon it could be a long year. Newcastle's climbing up. They're up to 61. Tigers, Eels 34. Finns 29. Raiders have gone out a little bit 20. 18 South. 16 for Waz Sharks. 13 Dogs. 850 Roosters. 850 Broncos. They have slid a little bit. 6 for Storm. 520 for Penrith.
Where do you see value in that?
Penrith.
Outside of the top, outside of the top two. Yeah, outside of the top two.
Look, you're getting $6 for the Storm and 520 for the Panthers, and I think it's pretty unlikely that any other team wins. To be honest, like from what I could see the Bulldogs potentially having a bit of value at 13.
Yeah,
I don't know, the Raiders at 20 if you want real value. But
I suppose so.
Gun to my head, if you had to pick the grand final right now, I'd say Penrith versus Melbourne.
Yeah,
it's a boring statement, but you know, it's only 2 rounds of footy, but we haven't seen anything to suggest otherwise, have we?
It's very true. Very true.
Few teams on the curse. Eels and Titans both conceded 50 last week. No team that's conceded 50 has ever won the comp. And Bronson Sherry,
track that.
Bulldogs on the bye, said yesterday, requested immediate release. Gus said it was bullshit. So Danny Widler coming out and saying that no formal request has come from the Bulldogs. He's been playing. He's down to New South Wales Cup next week.
Next week, yep.
So again, going back to
it's a very rugby league story because Gus said he talked to his agent, and his agent's actually suspended at the moment. So the club manager's not meant to be talking to him. So the NRL's now all trying to well, how are you guys communicating? So it's a very rugby league story.
Mate, Gus can communicate to anyone.
Yeah. So he's putting it out on his socials. It's all bullshit, but I think now post the fact that he's been sent to New South Wales that the release has actually been requested. So I don't know. I don't know who to believe in all this, but yeah, he's
hey, Gus,
bit of a tough spot at the moment.
Lockie Garvin will get up for a piss in the middle of the night. Gus would be in his ensuite last year. Yep. Right? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. He says he's not, but he's everywhere.
Yep. Doesn't even know his name.
Yep.
Yeah. That was a good furphy, wasn't it? Doesn't know his name. Me and you know his name, so I would say feel good near his nose.
Yes. Good old Gus.
Nothing to really add there. No, yeah. Looks like Cherry was at training. But,
watch your space. So apparently Serraldo said he's playing Cup next week, so we'll see what the team list Tuesday looks like in a couple of days' time.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some Aussie rules footy. It is 8:50 Sunday night. The Gold Coast Suns have just had a 50-point win against West Coast. We'll get to them at the end. But let's recap the round that was the first full round in the AFL. So we actually saw some teams coming out for the first time that didn't feature last week in the opening round. Carlton 10-15-75 beat Richmond 9-17-71. This was an absolute scrap fest in the second half, and have to say our prayers. Thank you, Tom Lynch, for your errant kicking particularly in the second half. He kicked 2 goals 7, and you don't want to say it was just that, but
yeah, well, they missed a heap, so
plenty of chances to win, didn't
yes.
they? Look, I thought I'd seen this movie before. Carlton not rocking up third quarter, got absolutely poleaxed by the Swans last week in the third quarter, and didn't kick a goal in this third quarter. They only kicked 1 goal 6 in the second half. Shout out to Random Stats Guy. Check him out on socials. He's more of a league type guy, but comes up with some good stats. This is the first win for Carlton with only scoring 1 goal in the second half since 1968, and that was the grand final. So pretty rare to win a game when you only kick 1 goal in the second half, and it was a rare game on Thursday night at the G, that's for sure. They led by 27 points at halftime, and just seen Carlton bottle leads so many times. And whilst there's heaps to improve on, and you can't go missing for a half of footy at AFL level, they come away with the 4 points. So in that regard, as a Blues fan, I sort of went to sleep somewhat satisfied.
Yeah, they needed a win. Otherwise, they might scrap the front office because they scraped by Richmond. But they, because there's been historically starting 0-2 stat for the Blues, and how many years they've done that, and how badly that goes for the season. So I think it's big to be able to come away with a win, but of course still a lot of concerns there for that squad to, like I said, just scrape by against the Richmond team.
Really promising performance 2 weeks in a row from Jagger Smith. So got 32 in his second game after getting 27 on debut against the Swans. Paddy Cripps still really, really good at footy. And some of the Swans recruits looking okay, but yeah, there's obviously been pretty ordinary throughout the last few years in the second half. So I don't know if it's a fitness and conditioning thing or if there's something that happens when they have a lead that they start playing a different style of footy. But
they're already in the showers getting on the bus.
Something has got to happen. Something's got to change in the second half. I don't know if you boys caught any of the hoopla in Melbourne last week. So Daniel Gorringe, Mad Blues fan, played a message from Sam Doherty, which potentially was not for his podcast, which was quite scathing of the Blues' performance against the Swans. And mate, the mainstream media, he was public enemy number one. Jared Wheatley coming after him. Lots of Channel 7 guys, lots of Fox Footy guys. Look, I suppose the pretense of that only sort of Gorringe and Doc know, but Doc not that far removed from Carlton leadership group and Carlton captain before that.
But is he wrong though?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
He dropped a lot of F-bombs, and I think anyone that sort of saw the Swans demolition job in the second half, 2 Thursdays ago, would have a right to be passionate and drop a few F-bombs. They had a fairly handy lead at halftime at the SCG a week and a half ago, and
in this game, I made it very close.
Yeah. I suppose the difference from how well they were playing against the Swans to how shit they played was potentially more marked in opening round than in round one.
Yeah.
But when there's systemic bottling of games and not showing up in the second half, something's got to give, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of, we're saying, like a better team puts them away, whereas they scrape past a win here against an average Tigers team. So,
We'll see what's next for the Blues. They do the attrition of the season. We've got a bye, which is which is good. There's actually a fair few teams from opening round, I believe, that get the bye in round 2. So Brisbane, Carlton, Collingwood, Geelong, who've all played 2 games, get a second round bye, and then Carlton get Melbourne. So long turnaround too. Actually, it's the last game of round 3. But look, you take the 4 points, but not confident about it, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
Team that didn't get the 4 points and
hasn't got 4 points in a long time.
Yeah, massive concern for the Bombers. Pretty outclassed by Hawthorn, themselves needing a little bit of a bounce back. Bombers 13 straight losses to end 2025. They haven't won since May 23, 2025 against the aforementioned Tigers. And all the off-season sort of rigmarole, I guess, of Zach Merritt. He's going, he's not going, he didn't go, and he's captain. He's still pretty good, 32 disposals and a goal in a team that got handedly beaten. But Hawthorn pretty good is my feeling. I wouldn't be too concerned about that, and I think we saw a bit more of the Hawthorn that we'll see throughout the rest of the season than the Hawthorn that we got in opening round.
Yeah.
Bombers are.
I think that's it. Like
so.
Hawthorn's not the team that we're really playing against, I guess.
Yeah, you want to compare yourself to West Coast, Richmond. I think. Well, Melbourne might not be crash hot.
Well, it's interesting. They've got. We're talking about it earlier today. Like they've got a pretty good start to the season. Makes it pretty easy for them, but whether that helps them get some momentum, get some confidence, and they win games that they might otherwise wouldn't normally. It'll be interesting season.
We'll get to the Sunday games in a second. I was quite surprised by maybe not the result, but how well North won. And St Kilda's been sort of touted as being potentially even a top 4, maybe a top 6 team this year. Melbourne got the job done without Petrarca and without Oliver. I think the thing that Melbourne done is they haven't gone rebuild. They've just gone, look, it's not working with these guys. Let's bring in a Jack Steele. Let's bring in some talent from some other clubs, and it's not like
good quality starters.
It's not like blow it up and start.
They're not young guys that they have to wait 3 years to kind of turn into that space.
dream team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm actually just trying to look at some numbers from today. CJ Jath didn't do heaps for him. Jack Steele.
You're skipping so far ahead, bro.
Oh, well, we're on him. We're on him now. Yeah, we'll leave it to when we get to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the Bombers look like over the first month of footy?
No, who the fuck cares? Besides James at the end of the table, everyone else thinks, they're going to finish in the bottom 4.
They play,
Even then.
They play Port next week. Port didn't look great today, but that is away. North Melbourne, there you go. Round 3.
Round 3, yeah.
That's the team.
That's right.
Forgetting North.
And you get the Bulldogs.
That's what we're aiming for.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And the
Melbourne, Suns.
Melbourne in gather round. Hopefully they can get a win before May 23.
Hopefully.
I'm more interested to talk about the Giants, to move on from the Bombers, because they seem to have started slow considering they've brought in a lot of talent.
Tale of 2 weeks for them.
Yeah, but they run in a red-hot Bulldogs team and a Bont who maybe finally get a Dally M, but he's started...
A Dally M.
Sorry.
He's doing well if he's done that.
Yeah, the Brownlow, yes. I've got to switch the brain over.
It's
Got
hard.
to flick the switches.
Well, we're one of the few podcasts that does have a crack at our 2 Premier codes, so it's certainly a forgivable mistake, I would say.
Yeah, where's my bra, Jimmy? You got to get me.
Oh, yeah, you get the soundboard.
It's too late.
Look, I wouldn't be overly... Like, they got hammered.
Yeah.
But is that because the Giants weren't great, or is it just because the Bulldogs are really good? Bulldogs go away in opening round to knock off the defending premiers and then play the way they did. They kick straight, which always
does help.
Score
21.
Carlton and Richmond could take a page out of their book, but they're just coming into like premium now. Like 6 for Norton, 4 for Darcy. Like Norton probably had his best season last year, and Sam Darcy's just going to get better and better and better and better. And then Bont, when he's healthy, he's like you said, he's a Brownlow caliber player, and 33 and 3 goals, and they might have the best midfield in footy. They're $9 to win the flag, which I still think is 3rd or 4th. So
some value there.
Yeah, some value there. I think Suns and Swans are both shorter. But yeah, they're looking like absolute world beaters, the Dogs.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think either of those other teams would win though. Suns and Swans.
It's hard to imagine the Suns winning a comp, right?
Yeah,
but
and same with the Swans. They've done it, but they're
easy to imagine making a grand final.
They can make it, but can they win it? Is the point.
The AFL's created an absolute monster with the Gold Coast Suns. It only took them 15 years.
I know, yes. They're fine. It's like, let's just give them everything they need and get them one. If there's going to be a year for them, it's got to be this year.
Keep that there. We might go to that when we do the table, the odds for the season. Giants have Saints next week to hopefully get right, and Bulldogs go to the Adelaide Oval. But yeah, that midfield is terrifying, and then you get the Twin Towers up front. They could be racking up some big scores against some teams. And the scoring points has not been the Dogs.
No.
They haven't had a problem doing that over the last few years. So it's just going to be more about consistency and
beating the good teams when you
and winning the close ones. I think because we definitely know they can put it through the big sticks. That's for sure. Geelong beat Freo. They were actually down 22 points at the half, so 110 to 100 down there at GMHBA. Big game from Shannon Neal, 5 goals through the big sticks, but Jez Cameron playing that real centre-half forward role. He had 23 touches, kicked 3 goals himself, 10 marks, coming back after breaking his arm in the grand final. So good for the Cats. Dockers always seem to be so close, but so far a lot of the time. And some pretty big numbers out of some of the midfielders. Bailey Smith, 31 and a goal, 30 and a goal for Caleb Sarong. Luke Jackson had a really good game. That was Freo's first hit out for the year. I think they'll be a top 8 or top 10 team this year. So we'll see how they go when they go back home. Cats are always there. Right.
Yeah.
What were we saying last year is 15 out of 20 years they made a prelim.
They're like the oldest team in the AFL at the moment.
They have been for years.
They have been for the last 10 years.
They did win the conference.
And went to the Mad Monday all dressed up as old people.
The longevity of that team is just insane.
It's just a good system, isn't it?
They're the Melbourne Storm of AFL. So.
I think that's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
True.
Speaking of hangovers, maybe talk about Brisbane losing to Sydney.
Yeah, I suppose it's going to be you're not off to the best start when Harris Andrews.
He's suspended for this game or got suspended from this game?
So before this,
for his spinning elbow.
back elbow,
yeah.
We're talking about
I get the idea of like throwing the arm out to slow him down, but he's hit him square with
it
the
didn't
elbow.
look good in slow motion.
No,
There's one angle like the live TV angle where it kind of looks a little bit incidental, and then there's like the front on angle, and it's like he almost had a look. And he copped a couple of weeks for that, but it then meant reshuffle at the back. Ryan Lester goes to Charlie Curnow, did a really, really good job on him. But then they had he's like it's almost like an Eastern European name youngster going, I think, to Armadi, and he kicked 5 goals. So big game for Joel Armadi. Don't often see it out of him. He had that one worldly one against the Crows a few seasons ago where he kicked 9, but doesn't rarely kicks big bags of goals there. And it means the Lions start 0-2, and it means the Broncos are Brisbane teams are 0-4.
Yeah. Hey, can you see how Brisbane started last year? Because they had all the Vegas shit last year, and they started real slow in the season. Then got
hasn't been a good off season for them,
which is kind of my point.
Yeah,
they haven't had there's been a fair news storylines about their old captain and where he will go, won't go after this.
I haven't seen a news.com. .au article about that at all.
Yeah, they haven't run one every day for the past month.
So. Camping out its side of people's houses and seeing the whereabouts of people.
Exactly. So
absolute muppets.
So until all that shit kind of clears the air and they get back to playing good footy, I'm seeing a lot of good comparisons for how they played last year. That list is talented enough. They're kind of like the other Brisbane team. They're just going to right the ship, get some good wins, and then the momentum will carry them through into the finals, and they'll be yet another dominant force.
Yeah, I think when we go over the odds later, I don't think the bookie's too concerned. But look, they start 0-2, and I think Harris is still out next game. And
I don't think they were 0-5 last year, but I think they won like 1 from their first 5 or something like that. They didn't have a good start.
Yeah,
2005 Brisbane Lions.
25.
They beat Sydney Swans 86-82. They beat the Eagles 94-75.
They got off for fly. I think it was the year before. I think it was the year.
I swear it was last year.
I think it was the year before when because all that Vegas shit
they were 5 in a row.
Yeah, very much so.
At the start of the season. The year before, they lost to Carlton. They lost to Freo. They lost to Collingwood.
Okay, maybe it was
and they beat. Started 0-3 in 2024.
Yeah. All right.
It's all blended.
I'm going with the same similarities. We'll say that's Vegas year, but a lot of the
they still won the
shit.
flag that year.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah. No concerns is what you're saying.
No. We're talking about the Bulldogs midfielders before. Lions.
Yeah.
Lucky Neal, Hugh McLuggage.
Yep.
You got a 2-time Norm Smith in Will Ashcroft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Ashcrofts.
Yeah, that's right. Ashcroft's times 2.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with their list, and
no
arguably have added well with Oscar Allen up front. But
how long is McCluggage out for?
Have a look. Have a look.
Well,
whilst you're looking that up, there was a big injury concern from this game for Errol Goulden, who missed a lot of last year with a high ankle. He done his shoulder, looked like he was in a fair bit of pain, and left the game and did not return and was sitting on the bench in a sling. And I think sort of some subluxation sort of chat. No, I don't think obviously dislocated, which is promising. But that'll be a wait and see for scans and see what the extent of the damage is. And for Brisbane Lions and shoulders, hey, it's. I suppose the one saving grace is this. I said Brisbane. The Sydney Swans also haven't had a great.
Just thinking about Jared.
Yeah, I was. Swans haven't had the greatest run with injuries over the last couple of seasons either. I suppose the one saving grace is that it happened so early that if he was to have surgery, sort of 4 to 6 month turnaround, could probably get back,
sneak in,
and make a run. But it's also that might just be a rehab it and see. That injury list pretty long for Brisbane already.
It's pretty long, yeah. 1 to 2 weeks for McCluggage. So not too bad.
That Harris Andrews he's suspended till round 5.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Zach Bailey's suspended at the moment too.
Yep.
Yeah, a few outs for him. We'll see. I wouldn't be panicking if I was a Lions fan at the moment at all. Collingwood, Adelaide. Adelaide get a bit of revenge. For that from that quarterfinal loss from last year, winning 93-79 at the G. Good games from Wayne Miller, Riley Philthorpe. Nick Dacos had a pretty good game in a losing side, 33 and 2 goals. Scott Pendlebury He's only a few games away from breaking the AFL all-time record, but he might be facing a suspension. If he gets suspended, it'll be his first one. He's never been suspended. So that's a good way to play 400 AFL games.
He's got to take it off his bucket list at some point.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
he's like, I'll make sure I do it. Yeah.
Completed everything. But yeah, I think that'll go to the MRO and that'll be a watch this space over the next couple of days.
Yep.
And I think it's round 6 or something that he's going to equal, and then he'll go past Boomer the week. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind looking that up, because that's going to be massive as well when it does inevitably happen for Scott Pendlebury, who, yeah, what's it? He's like doing LeBron type shit now, year 18, year 19, something like that. Yeah, so see amongst what round that is meant to happen, but he could. I don't think he's looking at a big suspension, but could miss a game.
Yeah.
Is that updated?
Don't know. Updated end of prelim finals 2025.
So it's 2 more. So yeah, so I think that 426 was the start of the year. I'm fairly sure. So I think he's got 4 then.
427 is on his wiki page.
427. So he's got 5.
5 to go.
5 to equal. 6 to go past. Anyways, we'll see. I don't think it's going to hurt him too much, and I don't think he's staring at a big suspension.
North good?
Too early to tell.
Or is it Port Adelaide?
Yeah, also too early to tell. They've got a new coach. So Josh Carr, not to be confused with Josh Adokar. Josh Carr won a flag with Port Adelaide 20 years ago. He's their coach after they move on from long-term coach Ken Hinkley. Same old story, I suppose, with Port over the last 10 years. Make prelim, lose prelim. But yeah, I don't know. I think just North, maybe their young talents finally coming into their prime. You know, guys like Sheasel, guys like Larky. Are in there sort of. Well, she's still pretty young, but guys actually coming into.
Yeah, they're like 3rd, 4th year now.
Yeah, early 20s. And actually starting to look pretty good. I didn't see much of this. I was just I checked the score and they were up big, and I thought, oh, geez, and here comes North. But yeah, too early to tell. Get us in the comments if you're a North fan and you're fired up after that win, or if you're a Port fan and you have concerns about the season at all.
Maybe but I think for them, like. To go back to the comparison to West Tigers, the growth finally move off the bottom of the table, push some of those other teams down, and start having that push in higher, and then maybe next year try to see if you push into the 8 kind of thing. That's where you want to see the growth of that investment over this term as we go.
Well, Monks, you were saying they couldn't have a better start to the season because they go at Eagles and then Bombers in Melbourne.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a world where North are 3-0.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say I kind of want that to happen for the long-suffering North fans, but then I thought about the long-suffering Bombers fan on my left.
Yeah, I think they're 6th currently on the ladder from what they were showing a second ago.
Yeah, look, one game.
Yeah, it is. Yes, Kevin.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see round 3 if they are 3-0. Start off the season really well.
Yeah. We finally got there. Melbourne St Kilda.
We were getting ahead of ourselves, weren't we? I think. Yeah, I actually hadn't even seen the score. And then I was like, wow, St Kilda are actually pretty short price favourites to win this. And Melbourne get home by 13 points. So it'll be interesting tomorrow to watch some highlights and see actually what happened this afternoon. And the D's are, they're in.
So who was good for Melbourne? I think it was what you were looking up a second ago.
Oh, well, I did see Jack Steele had 21 and a goal. I was looking more at their recruits.
Oh.
Because obviously they've lost Oliver and Petrarca. Like, they've lost their 2 guys that won him a flag, essentially, from a couple of years ago. Monk's got the numbers up there. Funnily, they didn't have anyone to get more than 23, so Christian Salem led for disposals.
Big team. Yeah.
Who kicked goals? I know that...
Oh, hang on. No, I've gone the wrong way.
That's all right. You did show... Jack Sinclair had 31, so Sinclair good. And Van Ruin, 6 goals for big Jacob Van Ruin. There you go. 6 for him, 3 for Myercheck. That's the other sort of bigger name recruits. So not crazy games from the recruits, but looks like handy from Steele and Myercheck and Jath, and they come out winners. Max Gorn's still good at footy, no doubt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting because St Kilda recruited heavily as well. So we'll see how that all plays out. And then Gold Coast won pretty handily, as you'd expect, at home against West Coast.
Petrarca kicked 4, 23 in this. and I think King was 5, kicked 5 as well. So for their top goal scorers out of that list.
Nice.
For,
What did Petrarca had 23 and 4.
Yep.
It might be two times 3 votes for C. Petrarca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to be a cheat code this season. Like, you already had the Brownlow medalists. You had Noah Anderson, who was top 6 in the Brownlow, something like that, and then you add Petrarca.
Took Miller's still good.
Yeah, like midfield wise again. We were talking about midfields before.
Yeah.
Like Gold Coast got to be a top 3, top 4 midfield, and lead the odds. And they're on your computer, Marks. You want to maybe take us away?
Yes, yeah, they are. So they are favourites. They're sitting at $5 there. Sydney Swans are just behind them at 6. Brisbane Lions are there at 7. So their season will inevitably pick up at some point, the bookies think. Bulldogs are sitting at 9. Hawthorn out at 10, and it starts sort of blowing out a little bit with Adelaide and Freo at 15s. Cats at 21. Collingwood at 26 with the Giants. Want to go through the full list?
Nah, that's
Yeah, I was going to say.
The rest of it, no one gives a fuck about.
Who are the 501s? It's interestingly not Essendon. It's only Eagles and Tigers.
Just.
501. 251 for Essendon.
Yep.
What North's at?
North are at 151, just above Essendon.
Going top
Growth.
going top down,
Yeah.
it would be weird, but with their list, they're a favourite for a reason, so you got to have Suns in the conversation. Swans can win it.
Yep.
I've got no concerns. I think the Lions can win it. I definitely think the Bulldogs can win it after what I've seen today. Hawthorn, yes. I'll still say yes, and then I start to get a bit iffy. And then I start to get a bit iffy around Adelaide, Fremantle. I think Geelong's
Geelong always in the
should,
conversation.
should jump back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting year, and the AFL be happy. I think that Gold Coast are finally a juggernaut, and we've seen GWS make a GF. They didn't have much to show for it that year, but is this a year that an expansion club goes deep?
Yeah.
Oh, whilst we're on it, can you look up what the start date for the VFL? Because the Tassie Devils in the VFL, and they may have had their. Did they have their first game this weekend?
Yeah, I did see a report that their stadium's probably not going to be ready as well. So
Yeah.
it's still, I think, kind
We've
of
been talking
flip
about
flopping
for
and all
2
that.
bloody years.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do for that for when they come in.
Next week. Looks like that's March 20th.
Are they next year or are they
March
the following year?
I think it's meant to be next year.
It's
Isn't
next
it?
year, yeah.
Yeah.
Have they signed anyone of note?
Couldn't tell you. They play Saturday against Coburg in the VFL. So watch that space. Yeah.
Very interesting.
If you know anyone that knows how to build a stadium, get them down to now. All
I'm
right.
sure we could figure it out.
I was going to say, a few human rights violations, you get a stadium built.
Should we talk some basketball?
Curry sets, fires, puts it up, bang!
Historic week in league, historic week in basketball. Bam Adebayo goes absolutely nuclear against the poor Washington Wizards, scores 83, goes to second all-time. That 100-point game of Wilt Chamberlain from the 60s is likely never to be broken. We've seen a few crazy games recently from some NBA current players, and this one
Did
kind
look
of
at 70 like a year ago or something?
well, we might even do a top 10 soon,
okay.
so we'll see how many I can remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, you'll be way better at that than I will.
But it hasn't been met with potentially as much, joy, I guess.
Yes.
A lot of people saying, well, there's milking too many free throws, and a lot of people
43 of them.
unhappy that
against the Wizards.
that they left him out there when they're up 20 and were still trying
Well,
to
they're up 30, and they'll just keep...
and to go past Kobe's record and all that. But anyways.
He was getting Megatron-type coverage out here, so they were all over him. But yeah, they just kept feeding him the ball, and he kept getting the free throws. But
We're
yeah,
going to talk about the free throws. So he had 36 of 43.
Yep.
So broke both the free throws made and free throw attempt record. The free throws made was 28. So he went 8 past it, and that itself is a 40-year-old record. Adrian Duntley, shout out if you're listening, or alive. And Dwight Howard twice had 39 attempts with the Magic and Lakers in 2012, 2013. So obliterated that. So I suppose there's that. There's the fact that people already think there's too many free throws being taken in the NBA, and maybe why SGA doesn't get his due sometimes.
Well, he broke a record as well. He had the most consecutive games of 20 plus points.
20 plus, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it was 127, I think it was, consecutive games with 20 plus points.
To think that he has that record and not Jordan and not LeBron.
Yep.
Or
I can't remember who he took it from, though. You might have to follow that up, but I did see that during the week. I did get that. Might be a LeBron record, actually, but yeah.
I'd say I reckon that's a LeBron record.
Yeah. But to go back to this, I think what annoyed people about it was less a dominant performance and more they were just taking the piss. So I was just like, well, yeah, it's cool you did it and things like that, but it felt more like you were taking the piss than anything else.
Yeah. I can see as well, like late, when they're intentionally missing free throws to try and rebound it to him to get him another free throw.
Yep.
To go past Kobe.
Yep.
There's probably a lot of people that were in like sort of Bradman sort of areas there. If we have any American listeners, we're going to have to explain this. But Mark Taylor famously scored 334 and did not pass Don Bradman out of respect. We're talking about cricket here.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Davey Warner, love him, but he just said, "Nah, fuck it, I'll go part." At that stage, Matthew Hayden had already obliterated against Zimbabwe. Yes. So I do wonder if there's a bit of that. I don't. To be honest, I don't care. Like, it's still your legacy, and being in the record books, I think he's going to be number 2 all time, and that record, the 100 probably never gets broken. So. Yeah.
Well, exactly. He's going to be in probably the top 10 for the next 100 years. Yep. So, yeah. Yes, you can take that.
What did we ask you to
look
up?
SGA,
yes.
Who he went past?
So he went past none other than Wilt.
It was a Wilt
who
record.
Held the top 2 most consecutive points games. So he was at obviously 126 if SGA broke it with 127. And then he had quite a bit of a drop off from there. Wilt had it for his second go around was 92 games.
Yeah. LeBron's actually nowhere near it, but Jordan is on there with 72.
Jordan's on the
KD.
Wise.
KD is also on there.
Yep.
Speaking of top 10s, could you get up? So the most points in an NBA game, you might have to search, and we're going to have to filter out the Wilt ones because he has an obscene amount. I sent you boys
everyone
a video.
besides Wilt.
Yeah. I think he had 32 60-point games or something like just stupid. So you got him there?
I've got the list.
You know the top 3, so run us through them.
Yeah, so we're going to do it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so the top 10 NBA players for most points in a game.
And Wilt only counts once.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Wilt Chamberlain, he's going to be number 1 with 100 points.
Yep.
And then Bam obviously goes 2 there with 83 to go past Kobe Bryant's 81. So that's 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
In recent years, who have we had go nuclear? Is Donovan Mitchell on the list?
Donovan Mitchell is on the list from January 2023.
Okay, so there's one. Is Dame Lillard on the list?
Yep. Same year, same amount of points, 71 points in a game.
All right, so I got 5. There's going to be some other old guys on there.
There are a few old guys.
Oscar Robertson on the list?
Not.
No, Oscar Robertson. Is Elgin Baylor on the list?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 6.
Again, equal 71 points.
Has anyone else done it recent? I know.
What about Luka and Harden?
Yeah. So Luka will be on there.
Yep, 2004. Luka had 73.
That's 7. Harden has 60-point games. He has multiple.
That's what I was thinking.
But I don't
see close.
But I don't think he's got a 70-point game, and I reckon that's what you're going to need.
He's not in that top 10 odd players.
Is there any other recent guys?
We've got 2 other current players.
Really? Giannis?
Yes. Nope. Actually, one of these goes back to 2017.
17.
Suns.
17 Suns. Booker.
Yep, Booker.
Booker's on there. 8. I'm going to tap out at 8. I'm going to tap out.
All right.
Give us the last 2.
Last 2. We'll have to go down the list. So we've got David Thompson.
I wasn't getting that.
Yeah.
What year is that from?
1978.
Yeah.
Denver Nuggets. He had 73.
Yep.
We had David Robinson.
The Admiral. Spurs. Early 90s?
Yep, 94. He was on 71 points with Baylor, Mitchell, and Lillard.
And then how many times? So we filtered Wilt out of there. how many, like if, has Wilt got 5 or 6 in the top 10?
Top 10, where are we? Top 10. He's got 5 in the top 10. Yep. So he's got 1, he's got 4, he's tied 5, twice with himself, once with Thompson and Luca. He holds 9 by himself.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then crazy that we didn't mention LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
There you go. Staying on legacy.
For which one?
Take your pick.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Someone whose legacy will be there. 83 points for Bam Adebayo. And we're going to talk about the NBA itself, Monks. If you wouldn't mind bringing up the standings, because we're sort of approaching playoffs. We're still, as it sort of pertains from a time perspective, still a while away. I think the play-ins are set. We're looking pre-show. So in the East, the gap there between Charlotte and Milwaukee is, what, 6 games?
7.
So they've got this game behind. So 6 there. And then the games behind in the West is more, I think. So if you scroll down there, what's 10 to 11? So Portland's 10 is 20, and it's 8.5 to Memphis. So you'd say the West, that's that. 8.5. You don't think anyone's turning around from that in mid-March. And then probably highly unlikely the Bucks got a long way to go.
Damn, Memphis lost 7 straight on the slide.
Yeah, they're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, it also means as well we might see a really lackluster last month as well. There's still going to be some fighting for seeds up higher. Like if you look at the West there, say from Lakers to Nuggets, like there's only one game there between 3 and 6 in the West. Same sort of thing, like around like from about seed 5 in the East, with the Magic at 38 wins down to say the 76ers at 9th at 36 wins. So a fair bit of jostling for position there, and ideally you don't have to go through the play-ins. So 6 and 7 is going to be a bit of a jostle in both conferences. But yeah, you wanted to talk about the Lakers, and I think we need to talk about the Lakers because they
started the season off pretty average.
They were also missing a pretty good basketball player at the start of the year.
Yes. Well, then their big 3 were playing, kind of didn't seem to be working. Then LeBron missed a couple of games, and then the 2 white boys went crazy. And then
LeBron's 3rd in points per game.
Yes, yeah,
behind Hillbilly Kobe.
Yep.
Austin Reeves having a year.
And then LeBron came back, and they've kind of fixed their mojo. They've got the right kind of chemistry now, and they've gone on a bit of a run.
Well, they won 5 in a row. They're 8 from their last 10.
One overtime today against the Nuggets, so they've been pretty good.
Can they win the whole thing?
I don't see why not.
I'll say yeah. Yeah, I'll say yes. I think it's going to be really, really hard. I think it's going to be the Thunder.
The
Thunder than the Field.
I think the challenge for them is they're a really good scoring team. I just, when you come playoff time and it gets a little bit more defensive, will they get the same sort of good looks that they're getting currently? And that's be the challenge.
That's a good point that you make, because you look at the top 6 there in the West, points per game or opposition points per game for the Thunder 108, and then everyone else 111, 115, 109, 115, 116. So they're all sort of on par. The Rockets actually defensively the second best team in the West there. But yeah, pretty crazy with the scoring in the NBA these days as well.
Yeah,
it's you're good if you're only conceding 110 a game.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess going to that as well, like the Lakers are out of the top 6 has got the lowest sort of point difference per game out of a lot of them. So winning only close games and fighting for it. Yeah,
which again maybe is a good thing, because you want to be able to win those close ones when it comes to the playoffs. Over in the East, the Pistons really are looking at the 1 seed. They're 4.5 games ahead of the Boston Celtics, who do have Tatum back, so rehabbing that Achilles. And we sort of talked about at the start of the year, when's he going to be back? Would it be March? Would it be April? So he's back, and they'll definitely make a run, and potentially are the shortest price in the East. Monks, we might get you to bring us up some odds pretty soon. But the East, other than the Pacers, who are dead last, looking quite similar to the way that they looked last year with Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, sort of Magic, and then obviously the surprise packet of the year being that Cade Cunningham-led Detroit Pistons.
Yeah. Bit sad with the Bulls fall off from where they started.
So
started so well. Giddy's been good, but they've just can't win games. And The Bucks as well, kind of in a bit of their fall off too.
I'm pretty surprised about the Bucks.
Yeah.
Where's Giannis playing in his future? That was all the question in the off season. I reckon that'll be the question again this off season.
Do you think that sort of carried on in the locker room throughout the season?
Maybe. You know, what did he have? The calf trade thingy injury?
Oh,
Trade request injury. So that didn't happen. So
the fake calf,
yes.
Yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, potentially, Jimmy.
It's also kind of like it opens up.
I think the East is a lot of fun and interesting with
Yeah.
it's a bit of a turnover there. You know, besides the Celtics, of course, but see the Magic up there, see Pistons up there.
I think I got a glimpse.
Cavs back up there, Raptors. Yeah, it's cool.
I think I got a glimpse of those odds. I don't think it's the Celtics. I think it was the Cavs that were shortest in the East. No. Stick with your gut there, Peps. Celtics $7, Cavs 11, Knicks 15, Pistons 18. So bookie's still sleeping on them a little bit. Fair enough. They're the new kids on the block.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you've got these established sort of Celtics, Cavs, Knicks teams, and then a big drop off in the East at least. So probably going to be one of those four you'd think from the East. Although, people were sleeping on the Pacers last year and they went on a run. But then the big one here, the Thunder are $2.20 to win the whole thing. Not to win the West, $2.20 to go back to back.
They still look very good.
After paying their big $3 billion, or getting $1 billion worth of contracts at least. So it's them versus the field. The Spurs, $6.50. Wemby, time to believe.
Freak.
Yeah. It's crazy how quick they've sort of turned around.
Out to Nugs at 11.
Well, they've done their rebuild, essentially.
This is very interesting, back to what we were talking about before. Rockets 36, T-Wolves 46, Lakers 81. Bookies don't reckon they can win it all.
No.
And then we're into the triple digits. It's going to be hard. The Thunder is going to be so far ahead. But,
Yeah, and well, a lot of the other teams in the West, though, also have been through the playoffs recently. Gone deep, like the Nuggets are still in there. So
they're all old as well. Like the Lakers are old.
Yeah.
The Rockets are old. The Nuggets are old.
Clippers, Warriors, old.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kind of fun for Portland to be in the play-ins. They've been pretty shit for the last, I don't know, whole time I've been following basketball.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think it'll be, my interest will really spike, I think, once we're into playoffs.
Agree.
I think the way that these conferences are looking, with the play-ins essentially set, but then teams sort of jostling for seeds.
Yep.
I think the interest will really spike in May.
Yep.
All right, let's go into some NFL. You remember it?
Is it this one?
Yeah.
Oh, he broke his ankles.
Shauno, I might get you to kick us off here because the free agency is underway and there has been some big name moves.
Madness, absolute madness. And there's been lots of moves, lots of trades. We're not going to go through everything. I think we focused on, the notes focus on the most important positions, so quarterbacks. But there's a few stories we thought we'd throw in there. Of course, we've got to start with salary cap. Finally tops 300 mil. It's now at $301.2 million for every team. So there's a bit of coin to throw around. But I guess the big story was day one, Max Crosby, not Mason, gets traded to the Ravens for 2 first-round picks for this year and next year. And then the Ravens have a look at his knee because he's recovering from surgery he had in January.
Yeah, meniscus
for
repair.
Meniscus repair. And they weren't real happy. My understanding is he was far enough along in his rehab. The reason they were, buyer's remorse, and not happy was more the long-term investment. Hey, we're giving up 2 first-round picks. We're expecting him to play for us the next 5 years. So I wonder if they saw something, what would it be? Like arthritis in the knee? But that'd be more, post-career stuff. So I don't know what they...
I have no idea.
Yeah, so...
From a physio standpoint, right?
Yeah, unless his knee's like jelly.
Like Joel Embiid's knee.
Yeah.
Jason Tamalolo's knees. But you'd be privy to a lot already.
Yes.
I do understand, they do their own medicals and there's, release of medical information that probably can't really happen when you're at one club before you get to another. That's why they have a medical, and it's often after deals have been signed.
Yep.
But I don't know what they've seen on their MRI or on the physical that has spooked them so much. Or maybe they've just thought, this is way too much to be paying an edge rusher.
Because I know they went through, I'm pretty sure it's Dr. Cooper, Andrew Cooper, I think is his name, which is the number one ACL doctor in the States. Basically, everyone that, that does major injuries in major sports goes through him. Had a look and obviously gave his opinion on it. And so whether that swayed it at all, I don't know. But I kind of think it was like, they kind of looked at how much we would potentially need to pay him on a new contract. Plus we're giving up 2 first-round picks. Maybe it's not worth considering. I think they were reporting they were thinking of pairing him with Hendrickson. But then they thought...
couldn't pair both of them, could they?
Well, I think they could, and they had to fix their pass rush. As as one of the things they obviously were keen to do after having third least sacks. Third least sacks last year. But then also maybe they just get one, pay him a bit less, and don't give up the first round picks. Was maybe they went into this conversation,
which was 2.
Yes, which was 2. Yes,
and they've never traded 2 first round picks.
They never traded a first round pick.
Yeah, I think
this is the stat. So they've come back, and that's what they're kind of thinking. So it'll probably hurt the Ravens more long term, as in most teams will, won't want to trade with them, because take the Raiders, for example, they did this trade and then spent like $300 million worth of contracts, thinking that, Crosby was going to be off the books. Luckily they have, because of the fucking Raiders, they have plenty of room in their cap to slide him back in
the NFL, don't they?
Yes. So he will go back to being a Raider and then he'll play with them. I think as well, the Ravens thought some of the guys they were trying to re-sign wouldn't leave, especially, what was their center's name, who did go to the Raiders?
Oh, Lindenbaum.
I think they were pretty keen to get him back, and not having him there, another reason is like, hey, we need the picks to be able to replace some of these guys that we lost that we thought we were getting back.
Changed a little bit.
So, maybe the strategy changed, but realistically, it looks like they backed out. They 100% backed out, which means teams in the future will not be as keen to trade with them, especially these big sort of trades, knowing that they might just go, oh, no, I feel bad, and walk away.
Something that they should have known very well, 28 years old, is that on the higher side of an age for a defensive player with knee issues?
Potentially.
Is that
I don't know.
Is that compounding the problem?
But you see, edge rushers can be really, really good in their mid-30s. And, look, he's not Von Miller, but,
But also, I think that that goes back to the conversation. You are giving up 2 first-round picks for him, so you're expecting him to play deep into his career and be good. Yeah, I know. So,
I think I'm Team Raiders here. I think they got absolutely.
Yes. I think the Ravens very much.
I just don't know how it happens.
Yeah,
like I was saying to you guys, what's just like. Yeah. Well, okay, then maybe there's something with consent to release medical information. Well, go have your physical and then go sign the paperwork. I don't understand why that doesn't happen.
Well, it was also in that period of tampering. So the free agency starts 3 days earlier, and the actual official day was 3 days later. Correct. So that's when it was before then. So that's when the deals actually become official. So there is a bit of a cooling off period as well. But just
medically, they knew he had a meniscus repair, and
they knew he was rehabbing.
And it's nice maybe for the listeners to know there's a meniscectomy versus a meniscus repair as well. So they're 2 different procedures. So sometimes you see a meniscectomy where they suck a little bit out arthroscopically, and guys are back playing within 4 weeks. It is quick turnaround. Mm-hmm. When they go in and they actually sew it up and they try to repair it, it can be a 4-month rehab, right? Yep. But it's still it's January. He's going to be fine. It's not going to have any drama. It's got nothing to do with rehabbing this injury.
Yeah.
So my feeling is maybe they've seen some sort of arthritic change on the MR, and then they've said no, we've got cold feet because of that. I don't know. It's not a good look for the league. It's not a good look for the Ravens in my opinion. And they go out and they're fine because they get
They still get.
They get Trey Hendrickson, and then the Raiders have done their ass for $300 million or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, did you want to keep?
Yeah. So then I guess we can roll into all the quarterback changes. I was just trying to find, because I think that was actually wrong. We were saying the second opinion. I was trying to find his actual surgeon. Sorry. Don't know. AI wrong. because that was the second opinion given there was his actual surgeon, but they got a second opinion from a different one, which I'm pretty sure was Cooper.
Right.
But I can't confirm that because AA is not quick enough.
Yeah, yet.
Doesn't matter.
Listen.
Semantics. Quarterbacks. If we start with Kyle Murray to the Vikings, that was probably the most recent one. Gets a 1-year deal with them. Will compete with JJ McCarthy. Probably steals that job.
They play their hand there about what they think about 9 long term, don't they?
Yep. Yeah, had a rough year last year, missed games as well. So I think their problem is they're coming off a 14-2 season, tried to make it work with a rookie, didn't work out. If they think they're still in their window, whack a vet in there and get the most out of Justin Jefferson while he can in his prime and see if they can go win the thing.
I think
is what they think.
Hard in the NFC North.
Exactly. So
as a Packers man, you see Kyler Murray come across with, I'm just not that concerned about that, to be honest.
But we'll see if the QB guru, their head coach, which is Kevin O'Connell, can actually get the best out of Kyler Murray. That'll be interesting.
Resurrected Sam Darnold's career.
Yes, exactly. So, it'll be interesting to see what sort of offense they kind of build around, whether it's his arm or his legs, and we'll see from there. Daniel Jones gets paid. He got a 2-year, $88 million guaranteed with $100 million in incentive to get there. I think officially his career earnings would get to $299 million.
Crazy.
But how does Daniel Jones earn $300 million over his career is wild.
It's pretty good for the first half of the year this year, dude.
Yes. So I think that's what they've built in. And I guess staying on the Colts theme, they did give Alec Pierce a 4-year, $114 million deal and traded Pittman away. So
that seemed like overs to me.
Yes. For a guy that hasn't had a 50 receiving season yet.
Great deep threat.
Yep.
Fast.
Had 1,000 yards last year.
Yep.
9 touchdowns from memory, something like that. So it was either 6 or it was either 9. It was one of the two numbers. I just can't remember which way it was up.
Dyslexia.
Yes.
It was 6.
So that seems a bit overs, but that's what they're running back. Still got JT there, and so that'll keep their offense together. Keep running. Gino gets traded to the Jets to go back to
where
the
it all
Jets.
started.
Where it all started.
You seen that meme of the quarterback wheel? How many quarterbacks they've had since Geno Smith? It is
a lot.
A lot of quarterbacks, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
It is the Jets. He wasn't very good at the Raiders, so I don't expect them to be significantly better considering their roster is not significantly better. They do retain Breece Hall, and of course have Will. Yes, they still have Wilson there. And Sauce they traded away, so it'll be interesting to see how they play, but I don't think the Jets are very good.
They're going to draft a quarterback as well, do you reckon?
No, because where they pick early, don't they?
Yep.
And Ty Simpson's number 2, and he's probably
late first round
and early. You'd think at this stage, people will go and do their looking at him. But I think it's and another reason why a lot of teams are trading out of this draft or trying to trade for offensive guys. It's not very offensive heavy this draft. If you want defensive talent, it is. Because there's probably one quarterback should go in the first round.
Mendoza will go to the Raiders.
Yeah, maybe one running back. The offensive tackles, there's about 3 of them, and most of them are right tackles. So there's a bit of challenge, a bit of tight ends, but there isn't a heavy. And then the wide receivers, or the 3 guys, most of them are kind of like 1-year wonders or coming off some sort of injuries and things like that. They're not the dynamic wide receiver class that we've had in the past. And there's only 3 of them really. So it's going to be not a great offensive class. Lots of pass rushers, good corners. Actually, I think 3, maybe 4 safeties that could go first round. So
Caleb Downs might go.
Yep.
First 6 picks as a safety. Crazy.
So if you want defensive talent, that's where it is. So I think that's why a lot of guys are that's why there's been a lot of movement trades and things like that to get some of the talent, because I think a lot of teams are not super keen on this draft and will be focusing more on next year's.
I've just opened up a little mock draft, and it has Mendoza going 1, which everyone has, and then edge for Jets and Cards, and then Carnell Tate.
I'm not sure Tate will
Caleb
go that
Downs.
early,
I think that's a bit high on Tate. Jeremiah Love is probably going to be a top 10 RB, and Mackay Lemon's also the other high receiver to watch out for. Got an offensive tackle, Ruben Bain in there. So 3 edges in the top 10, and just the 1 quarterback. I'm going to scroll down. You keep talking. I'll find you when QB2 comes in.
So the Falcons also made a QB move. So they released Cousins out in the wilderness currently, signed Tua for 1 year deal. I've seen a fair few memes of like one quarterback's, an injury away from blowing out both his knees. The other quarterback's a concussion away from meeting Jesus. So they're a very interesting quarterback room, and we'll have to see who can survive the longest, essentially.
It's a great deal for the Falcons, though.
Yes,
they
pay nothing.
They get Tua on peanuts.
Yeah.
Dolphins have to spend big on him, and then they spend big on bringing in Malik Willis.
And I kind of guess works for Falcons because the two lefties, they've cornered the market on lefties. So they can build their offense around a left-handed quarterback. And you covered it. Malik Willis goes to the Dolphins as that Tua replacement. He gets a 3-year, $67 million deal for him. It's
big money for a guy who's only been a backup.
Yeah, he's had probably 2 to 3 good games at the Packers. Not very many at the Titans.
He's good with his legs.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the dynamic of quarterbacks that they seem to like. Big thrower, can move. So we'll see how he plays out for them.
That's it.
So that's the big sort of quarterback news that's been going around. Other things.
Before you move on to other positions, one more quarterback, Josh Johnson, got signed by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Back to the Bengals for his 22nd stop. Or was it 21st?
Potentially. Yeah. He has played. He has played for 14 NFL teams.
Yes.
This is his 3rd stint with the Bengals.
Is that a record?
Yeah, well, by far. Yeah, here's the record. Yeah, I think it's 21 or 22 stops he's made. In his career.
That'll be crazy, but just the actual teams, 14.
Yes, 14.
Yeah, so he has, he's 39, turning 40 this year. Has played in the XFL a lot, but if I run through his list, he got drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, then moved to San Francisco 49ers, played for Sacramento Mountain Lions, Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals, 49ers, Bengals, Jets, Colts, Bills, Ravens, Jets, Texans, the Oakland Raiders, San Diego Fleet, Washington Commanders, Detroit Lions, Los Angeles Wildcats, San Francisco 49ers, New York Jets, Baltimore Ravens, Broncos, 49ers, Ravens, Commanders, Bengals.
Yep.
I think that was 14 different teams. It was so hard. He's been to the 49ers like 4 separate times.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Pretty funny. Yep.
Big, long career. But hey, good career earnings for him. 20 plus, almost 20 years in the NFL.
Wouldn't have got hit much in that time either.
Lots of backup. Hey, that's where the party's at. Be a backup quarterback. Don't have to worry. You don't have to worry when your quarterback gets injured. But otherwise it's okay. Well.
Whilst we're on quarterbacks, I just had a look at CBS's mock draft, going 3 rounds deep.
Yep.
They had Ty Simpson early second,
and
they didn't have anyone going, any other quarterback going.
Yeah. Pretty.
So Mendoza, big jump. Simpson, who knows, and then who knows?
Yeah, I wonder if some guys thought it was maybe college guys thought Manning was coming out this year, and that didn't happen. So that's.
I'm still don't believe the hype on Manning,
But I just the name though kind of cleared the runway that hey, you don't want to go up against him in the draft. Benchmark. So like last year was a big draft class. I think this one, will get one, and then next year I think there's a bunch coming out next year, so it could be another big draft class next year.
Yeah, right.
For QBs, that is. Finish up. I think the only other one of the things I thought was interesting. Mark Evans. Ends his career at Tampa Bay and goes over the 49ers, gets a 3-year deal with them to, continue his career. So it was a big name moving.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one coming, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to finish his career as a one-club man. You upset about that?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, can probably understand with some of the roster movements, like they drafted.
You look at how many wide receivers that good quality. They've got depth there.
Booker looked insane the first half of the season.
Yeah.
They got Godwin still floating around. They gave him a good deal.
That's it.
They got Johnson as well. So.
Yeah. So disappointed, sad to see him leave. He's will always be a buck through and through. Posted like a really nice sort of heartfelt message on Instagram, saying that he hopes that the fans still root for him. He just needed a fresh start.
That could be the missing piece of the 49ers offense too.
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
No. Last year.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings is okay.
Yeah, but he's off contract, so they do need a wide receiver.
I think they moved him actually.
Didn't they trade him? No, I
Yeah,
thought he was.
He's not. He's
a
not,
free A.
He's not on their depth chart.
Yeah,
I'll search.
yeah.
for
I
him.
think he's a free agent. I don't think he signed anywhere though.
All right, let me have a look.
So
They got Ricky Pearsall and DeMarcus Robinson as well.
Yep. Yes. To finish off, there's heaps of other moves, but I think the only other kind of interesting news, the NFL Combine didn't happen. Very interesting kind of picture. The rhetoric that they always get bigger and faster did come true in this. The fastest ever combine across every position was pretty impressive to see. So I guess you're seeing that kind of talent level and skill level of coming out of the college, whether that's to do with more money in college football potentially and guys pushing to the league. It's or just the growth of just
sports science.
Yeah, sports science, a lot of it. So
all the steroids they pump in the chickens.
hey, whoa.
Into the chickens.
Chickens,
Whoa,
okay.
whoa.
I was going to say, Brian Cushing coming out of college.
They need to single out guys in the NFL, man.
I think most of the guys in the NFL on source.
Been known to happen.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, it's pretty impressive. The Styles brothers, probably the big story, showed out in both positions. So, that'll help their cause for now. And then everyone will go away, look at the tape, and we'll have a draft in 5 weeks, isn't it?
Can Sonny Styles go top 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's hard for him because
he's not an edge rusher. He's an outside linebacker.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to find out whether he play. Is he a Mike or a Will? So, will someone draft him higher, projecting that with that talent level that he could be an outside guy, or is he just better?
He's big enough.
He's big enough, yeah. Or is he just a better as an off-ball linebacker? So that'd be interesting to see because it'll be pretty high for an off-ball linebacker because that position's not well sought after as it has been in the past.
Can anyone think of top 10 like inside linebackers to go
Recently?
Yeah.
Well, I know the Browns did Carson
Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
But he was the first inside linebacker we had last year, and he was a second rounder. So to give you a comparison, he was really good, but of course, still couldn't make it in the first round. Luke Kuechly did, but
yeah, that's like a good 12 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but in between that gap, who's gone?
I'm just saying, who was the last inside linebacker to be drafted?
Did Edwards? Tremaine Edwards go? No, I'm not top 10. Devin White,
Tampa, 2019.
Yeah, I think other
Roquan Smith
went 8.
Yeah, that happens.
It happens.
It just hasn't happened for 6 years.
No.
The numbers that he put up, we'll see. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the NFL.
We'll do a draft show, I'd say, in just over a month's time. And yeah, it's interesting now because you can really start to think about who might be drafting what position after the free agency moves all happen.
Agree.
We'll do some soccer. The Women's Asian Cup is on at the moment, and the Tillies are through to the semi-final. They had to, they really got a little bit lucky, I would say. Having a look at the box score from the North Korea game, because I think they had 4 shots on target versus about 20, and they had less possession, but they won. So it doesn't matter what the stats say; it matters who goes through the next round. So Matildas go through to the semis, and they play China, who I think got through Taiwan. Interesting.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't do that. Don't put that curse on me.
It's women's soccer. In women's soccer.
Women's soccer. Okay.
Okay. But
there is another big story with women's soccer and a certain team. And
yeah, we can talk about it on the podcast. Is the Iranian team and obviously all the shit that's going on in the world. That's been headlines down here.
Yep.
Some granted asylum, some not.
Yeah, send them home.
It's actually sort of taken away a little bit from the football and how much of a national sort of icon the Matildas are at the moment, because they've been drawing some crazy crowds for some of these games. Be interesting. I think Perth has actually got this. Can you look up the semi and the final. It might go Perth and then maybe Sydney.
Makes sense.
Yeah, they play Tuesday night. And they got a few girls trying to come back from concussions. So Steph Catley got smacked in the back of the head with the football, and Hayley Russo as well. But I don't think they have any sort of protocols. I actually don't know in international football.
I assume they've got protocols. Most sports these days have concussion protocols.
Yeah, I just don't think there's any mandatory.
There's no
They'd have to
Smith
be
the
passing
smelling
tests.
salts and send them back out.
No, I don't think their physio would just be going, yeah, you're all right. How many fingers? Yeah, off you go.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit more than that. I'm saying I don't know if there's like
mandatory stand down, got us
Yeah,
missed 11 days,
mandatory
etc.
stand down. Please correct me
I'll
if
get
I'm
you,
wrong,
I'll
if there's
get
any
you, I'll get
diehard
you.
Tillies fans. But yes, hopefully they're full strength. Alana Kennedy's leading the goal scoring in the comp. So definitely on paper, strong enough. Home field advantage is going to be massive for them. But it's hard to win tournaments.
Yeah, I agree.
Those few games left. Who we got?
Yes, so we've got playing matches are played in the Gold Coast for those who lost, and then semi-finals.
What's that for, but is that just for
It's
seeding?
qualifying
Oh, for the World Cup.
for the World Cup,
Okay.
which Australia did qualify for the World Cup with their win against one of the Koreas.
Yeah, automatically in. So Uzbek, go back to those playing games. So
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with tournament, but Uzbekistan, Philippines, North Korea, Chinese Taipei can go into the 2027 Women's World Cup. The tournament proper, Australia versus China is Tuesday night. South Korea
In
versus
Perth.
Japan is Wednesday night. So
In Sydney.
Tilly's playing Perth. That other game is Sydney, and final is Sydney, correct?
No details on the final, apparently.
on that website,
That website.
I'm pretty sure it's in Sydney. So yeah, go Tillies. We'll be tuning in Tuesday night and wishing them the best. And it'll be hard. That'll be if they get through China, it'll be massive ask to get through South Korea or Japan. They played South Korea in the group stage. It was 3-3 draw, I think, with a late equaliser. And Saturday night for the final.
Saturday night for the final.
March 21, 8 o'clock kickoff.
Or stadium.
Let's go. Hopefully they're there. All right. Can you get an EPL table up? We've sort of been joking the last few podcasts. Actually, no. That's maybe just in the group chat because the last few podcasts.
We mentioned. I think you mentioned it last
We
week.
have
The
talked
Spurs were
about-
close to regulation.
We did a league. Anyway, it's definitely been in that group chat.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
I'm pretty sure in your outro you said it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the situation's gotten more dire.
Yeah, because they were one game behind, I think, or like 1 point away from.
They're still 1 point clear, but there's 3 teams now within 1 point. The
Okay.
bottom 2 are gone. Monks,
Bring that table
if
up,
you can bring
Monks.
that table up. But Spurs are in dire straits. And I don't know if you guys saw him in the Champions
Give us a
League.
second.
I don't think I've ever felt so bad for a soccer player as their keeper. He got hooked after 17 minutes. He made 2 like unforgivable howlers in 2 minutes. Like just about like missed the ball trying to kick out to the defender, and then brushed himself off. They had a horrible.
Anyone seen
defensive-
his Polymarket account?
It's a little bit of insider bets there.
Yeah.
It was horrible, and he got dragged, and then they ended up getting smoked in that Champions League game. At least for them, they're still playing some Champions League football.
So Wanderers and Burnley are done.
They're gone. They're
So
gone.
it's just whether
eight
not
games to
Forest can
go.
hold on. West
So-
Ham still there, and then Spurs.
But they drew today. So West Ham drew today, Nottingham drew today. Spurs, you look at their last 5, lost. They haven't won a league game this year. Did you know that? It's March 15th. That is nuts.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ange Postecoglou is
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog sipping his tea meme. Jeez.
Clearly, I was
Yeah.
not the problem.
And
Out
if
of
you
there-
can get
out
their
of
run,
there at the right
if you
time.
get their run home, Monks, if you wouldn't mind, we can sort of see how
What
challenging it's
have,
going
what
to
have
be.
they got? They got 7 to go.
Yeah, they have more. They have 9, I think, because they're a game behind. But most teams have got 8 left. To be fair, they've had a pretty hard run. United, Arsenal, Newcastle, etc.
Yes.
But yeah, if you wouldn't mind bringing up their fixtures, they play Liverpool next, don't they?
Yeah. I thought that had actually played, but that must have been later today.
Must be
Okay,
tonight.
that's
Tonight.
tonight.
That doesn't go that far ahead. I might beat you here.
Liverpool not far against not Forest will
There you
be important.
So Sunderland, that's winnable. Brighton, Wolverhampton. So it's going to be on them. It's not like the
because he's gone too far. They did. It was Liverpool, not Forest, then into Sunderland, Brighton, and Wolves. So there's two of the guys underneath them. So they have to beat both
if they,
of them.
if they lose not Forest, they're fucked.
Yeah, that's it.
Like-
That could be. There is I guess there's plenty of games like that.
Sure, but
they could
like
go
that's-
on a run, but yeah.
A draw's but if you lose and you give up 3 points to the team
To
that you're already
below
battling,
us.
that's a big game.
Do they play the Hammers at all? Go forward. And again. Everton,
No.
Chelsea, Leeds, and I don't see them winning anything in May. And is that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. What's the last two? Chelsea and Everton. You won't really want to leave it to the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I think really, again, you don't want to get too, anything can happen. But those games against Wolves and against Not Forest are going to be massive.
Yep.
Can't be dropping them.
Agree. What's happening at the top of the table?
It's Arsenal's, really. We've seen them bottle up.
So when are they going to choke it? Is the point?
I don't know if they will.
They're 9 ahead.
9 ahead, and the results from today: Arsenal won, City drew,
Yep.
Liverpool drew. It couldn't have been, better results for Arsenal.
Loss for United.
Plus, they had a
loss for
16-year-old
Villa.
kid score.
Yep.
What's his name? Max
That's
Dowman.
crazy.
He smashed the record. With looking at it pre-show, he was his birthday is 31st of December. He's 16 and 70 something days, and the old record was 16 and 290 or something. Like he proper smashed the record. And there's some pretty good players on that list of guys that have scored at 16 and 17. The likes of James Milner, Wayne Rooney, Cesc Fabregas have all scored sort of before 17 and a bit. So
City,
pretty handy company to be in there for the young gunner. And grew up as a Gunners fan. So yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah,
That's
well, I'm assuming Benny's their academy for the last decade. So
Yeah, he has, and played a lot of England under 19s, which is again is a pretty crazy
pretty
feat,
handy.
that feat at 16.
So Bournemouth, City,
That's big.
Newcastle.
City,
That'll be a big one against City, but they should win the other two comfortably. And what do they finish with in May?
Newcastle have been knocking off a
Fulham,
few teams. Look good
Burnley,
against Barca midweek.
They probably don't lose in May either. So
I think it's Arsenal's.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy to concede.
maybe they drop the game against City, but they're still 9. That'll make them 6 ahead. So I think
they don't have
they're.
enough quality teams to play in the back end of the season.
So what we've said is it should be theirs, and then if they lose those games, that'll be their bottling. What's City's run home? Because United's too far away. It'd have to be City. Would have to win out, I'd say, and hope Arsenal bottles it.
United playing Champions League will be good, for them. But the last few years that they've had,
Oh, they drew. That's funny.
City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Burnley, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Villa. Pretty good run.
Pretty good run back too.
Pretty good run. There's a few hard games in April for them. I just think it's too much to ask for 9 points.
Yeah, I think what we're saying, they got to win out. And
They do have the game in hand, so
Arsenal
they win. It's more like 6 points. But
6 to get true. Yeah, but still, they probably need to win out and need Arsenal to drop 2. Yeah. Need to beat Arsenal and need them to drop another one. It's probably the main conversation.
if any teams to do it, it would be
Arsenal.
You've seen some of the chat about set pieces and people saying that they score too much from set pieces and then it's boring and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Is there anything to take away from Arsenal actually potentially winning the league for the first time in 20-odd years?
Yeah. Still scored 61 goals and only conceded 22.
I think it's like half from set pieces. Anyways,
So
criticise. People criticising Bamford at 83 as per previous conversation. Champions League is going. I don't know. Have you got it there? Yeah, bring it up. We'll just quickly look. Right. Bodo Glimt's still going. You know, the team that actually played Tottenham in the Champions League last year. They're just knocking out crazy. Like they've beaten Inter and they won during the week. Yeah, if you go to playoff, no, that's you got to have to scroll down heaps. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Knockout phase. Round of 16.
There we go. So round of 16. PSG, Chelsea. PSG won comfy. Galatasaray knocked off Liverpool, but it's only one goal, so Liverpool going home on the return leg, which these are all this week, mind you. Real, the Valverde hat-trick against City. Real should be getting through. Bayern smacked Atalanta. Newcastle actually had a lead against Barca, but held on. Atletico pumped Spurs. 2 goals gifted to him from the keeper. And then Bodo Glimt, they're the story. They got Sporting and they touch them up 3-0 at home. So good
Yeah.
chance that they're getting through to the quarterfinals, the Norwegian Minnows. And then Leverkusen and Arsenal was 1-1. So for Arsenal to do the triple, they have a home fixture that they'll have to win against Leverkusen. But yeah, all those return legs this week.
Yep.
Scroll down to final. When's the final for the Champions League? 30 May in Budapest.
When's the World Cup start? Doesn't it start
Not far
2
after
weeks
that.
after that?
Yeah, I think it
In
may.
June?
Maybe it might be more than that. It might be 3 weeks. Like it might be late June.
June.
Yeah, late June.
Yeah.
FIFA World Cup start. Seen as well, Iran probably not going to be in it as well. So
Yeah. No, it's 12th. It's 2
So I
weeks.
think mid-June. That's a short turnaround. I suppose there's not too many people that'll be left. You know, all the leagues will be finished. The Champions League final.
Yeah. Well, they also got to play all the Europe qualifiers as well in that time frame too.
Which
so.
will just be late March into early April. Yeah. So yeah, in a month's time, we should know actually those last 4 European teams.
Yeah. So if Iran's not playing,
How does it work?
Do they have? Yeah. Do they go back to whoever was under them?
But does it have to come from Asia? It's sort of unprecedented. I've got no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, I would have thought it would be out of our qualifying pool. Whoever was next on the list you would think would get the spot.
Can you go to AFC qualifying?
Because I assumed like if they disqualified a team because they were all on roids or something, like it'd be the next team.
Oh,
under,
they'll have a
wouldn't it?
contingency plan.
Yeah.
But it's never had to be enacted like 2 months out from a World Cup. I don't think, unless it's happened, donkeys years ago. I would think. Yeah, look at. I think it's already said 47.
Have they said they're not going to attend? Because I'm
I think
assuming
it's highly unlikely.
I'm assuming most of the players don't play locally. They've probably got to. Do they have enough guys internationally that they could put a team together that's
It's not just
based
that; it's a
out of home?
political thing.
Oh, okay.
It's America won't be dropping bombs on them and letting them. Like I don't think it's going to.
True, I guess so.
Yeah.
It isn't. Yeah.
Oh, so there are. So here you go. So there's an interconfederation qualifiers anyway, which is Bolivia, Suriname, and winner gets Iraq.
Yeah.
So they could just say the loser of that game
They
gets
can come.
gets
the
quali-
next spot. Yeah.
gets a qualification. And then Iran were automatic qualifiers in Asia. So it starts to get real sticky here because you have 6 automatic qualifiers. So was there a team that just missed out in the Asian playoffs? So if you scroll down to the Asian playoffs, yeah. So it was Iraq was the best loser. So who were the other 2 in those that missed out? Oh, they beat the Emirates.
Emirates, yeah. The other
I
one
don't
in
know.
their
It's a shit
group.
show, man. It's an absolute shit show. Maybe they won't limit it to Asia.
Maybe.
They should do a lottery.
Could do. Lottery would be fun. Maybe that's how the Italians get in.
We won the World Cup lottery.
You want to
Alright.
do the final round and then
Yeah,
get
let's
out
do a
of here?
final round. Let's do a
Yeah.
final round.
You want to bring up the cards, Jimmy? So not a huge amount of well, I guess there was one pay-per-view, the big BMF fight between Holloway and Oliveira, and
Oliver touched him up. By
yeah,
all accounts.
Oliveira just grappled the shit out of him essentially.
50, 45, I
yeah,
think.
just
Three
just
judges.
dominated that.
Holloway gone up, right? So
Yes, he is.
yeah,
And it was very clear, like Oliveira was like judo tossing him from anywhere. So you tell the strength of the weight was definitely a big thing. I know a lot of people weren't super happy, and that's probably because the BMF was connected to it. They turned up to see a war and to see them throw bombs, and then instead they got a grappling masterclass. So
is that your feeling? Like it needs to be high level striking, exchanging to be a BMF? Because that's
well,
typically what we've seen.
Yeah, I think if you think of the idea of the BMF as kind of like the heavyweight title in boxing, it was always the baddest man on the planet. You go out there and they try to knock each other out. Essentially, that's the kind of stigma I think is attached to the BMF belt. So Oliveira went off script and was like, "I'm just here to win," and just knew I had a significant grappling advantage and took it and just dominated that way. So. Very interesting to see what they do with that BMF belt going forward. Actually, I think they're creating like a BMF heavyweight belt or a BMF higher weight belt or something for one of the upcoming fights. I don't know which one, but I had heard that vaguely. So that's how that played out. The White House card got announced, and then UFC 328 got announced. So if you get the White House, Josh Emmett lost today.
Is that the official name? The UFC Freedom 250?
250, yep. Adesan's got a fight. Keep going. UFC. So there is UFC 327.
Prohaska and
so relative to that, they're fighting for the belts because Alex Pereira has vacated the light heavyweight title because he's going to go up to fight for the interim heavyweight title against Garn at the White House card. So that's the co-main. Actually, maybe it's further ahead. So the UFC
It's in June.
It's in June. I've got the card here. If you,
you've got it. Yeah.
So if you just want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
Ilya Tapura, Justin Gaethje.
Headlines?
For lightweight. Heavyweight. So this is probably where it starts to get interesting. Alex Pereira, Cyril Gane. Lots and lots and lots of speculation that it would be John Jones fighting on this card.
And there's been a lot of talk about there's a card fight that fell out right on the top of it.
And back and forth between Jones and the UFC kind of saying that they had tried to contact him apparently, and then Dana said no, it was never a plan.
Well, I think they contacted Jones early. Jones said a number, and they didn't want to do that, so that's why they pivoted to Gunn. So my understanding of the fight was actually Islam was going to fight to Pereira for
lightweight.
Was it light? No, it would have been welterweight. I think
For Tapura going up
to follow Islam essentially, and then that might have fallen through. But it was kind of well known that Islam's, I think, got his broken hand at the moment. So there's a bit of talk about that. Anyway, that's what we ended up with. Sean O'Malley's on the card as well. Michael Chandler gets a fight.
Zahabi.
Yes,
and not Sandman as well. So a lot of people were like, "Oh, what's the go there? Is O'Malley dodging Sandman or?"
Yeah, I don't know. Michael Chandler's back after a long layoff. No Conor McGregor. Here's reports that Conor's going to fight sometime in the middle of the year. So
I'm not surprised by that one.
Yeah,
I thought Jones might happen. He's 39, last hurrah, White House, you know, goat chat, all the rest
against
of it.
Pereira. That's the big storyline. But at least they get Pereira, and I guess if he wins against Garn, I think that's for the interim. Yeah, it is for the interim, and whether they then try to combine that with Aspinall later on, I do not know. So we'll see. But then for Pereira, if he wins it, it'll be 3 weight divisions. The first time. Never happened. Yeah.
Are you disappointed by this card?
I think, again, with what the UFC said with their own optics, they were probably pushing for like, hey, every fight's going to be a championship fight, and that didn't materialize into that. So they set an expectation they couldn't meet. So it's a
good card. Like,
it's a good card.
If that's just UFC 328 and it's not UFC Freedom 250, whatever we're calling it,
I agree.
That's a great card, right? But it's just the expectation had been like set so crazy that maybe there was some mild disappointment when this card came out.
Card
I agree. So Bo Nickel and Diego Lopez are on this card as well for some other name dudes floating around. And then 328 got announced. The big one on that is Hamzat versus Strickland.
That's a good fight.
Which is a good fight. They're going to need all of the security. I think any face-offs for that are going to be quite interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I think they announced the full card of that. Yeah. So they've got a heavyweight fight.
You got Volkov versus Waldo Cordes Acosta. Yeah. Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley. Jan Blachowicz versus Guskov. That's a good card.
Yeah, so that's a good solid card, and that's going to be in New Jersey. So that's a bit of a wrap up of UFC. So I think 327 is the next one coming up, and that's a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, and we'll see because it's going to get crazy leading into the White House in June. Obviously, unprecedented type event. It's going to be hard. I don't think it's even tickets. I think it's invite only for the lawn.
Yeah, I think think what they've said.
I don't think you buy a ticket.
No, you can't buy tickets. They're giving the tickets away. So there's like 50,000. I'm not sure if it's a lottery or
it's
they're
not
going to
50,000.
You won't fit 45.
No, look,
I think they've said at that sort of number. You'll have to see what Dana's comments were on it.
25,000. There you go.
I think they were going to do more than that.
I don't know. How are you going to have the space?
Yeah, I don't. I have no. Well, I don't know how they're going to do this regardless.
Yeah.
Are they going to put a roof over it or some shit like that? There you go. Capable of hosting up to 85,000 spectators. So they've got a whole thing they're setting up. So I think that's where the tickets come.
Read it. That says to install large screens at the ellipse. That's not on the lawn.
Yes.
That's
So this is where he was saying, though, he'll later announce that the 85,000 tickets for that will be given away free. So that's where the freebies come into it.
And then if you go up there, CEO.
So it says 25,000 for the actual seating on the ground.
I don't think it says that. It says it would be 3,000 to 4,000 people.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. My thinking is, probably a lottery for those 85,000, and all his mates will get the other, or it'll be celeb field, I'd say, for 3,000 to 4,000.
I do feel like that will be the case. Imagine the security.
Yeah. Well, having said that, Trump already attends UFC events all over the place. So.
Sure.
There's probably more security around the White House than
Yes.
anything else. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's already going to have crazy security, so maybe.
Yeah, considering they're in the middle of a war at the moment too. So. Anyway, let's finish with some F1.
Bastian Vettel.
So we've had 2 GPs. Started in Australia. That was dominated by Mercedes, won by Russell. Oscar did crash out at the start, so he missed that GP, unfortunately.
Australian one, yep.
You boys, like resident casual here, how does that happen? Like, that looks so innocuous.
Cold tires.
Let's get to the. I think the cars. We can have a little talk about that. So Aston Martin cars are basically too dangerous to drive. As in,
how much have they changed?
Well, significantly by the sounds of it, the regulations have changed a lot, but I think a lot of teams have tried some things with that, and it just hasn't landed.
So it's like new engines, new aerodynamics.
Yeah. Well, the power delivery through the whole driveline, I think, is different.
So too much change too quick, and the drivers can't get used to it.
Maybe it is a very car dependent competition currently. Well, so we'll get to that. So the Aston Martins have a vibration issue, so cause nerve damage in your hands if you drive for too long. So both races, they've retired both cars before about the midway point. What's interesting, there is a lot of overtakes in both races, but there's a lot of talk of it being more like Mario Kart than F1. And this kind of goes back to your point of Oscar. The power changed to 50-50, 50% engine, 50% battery. His crash was likely his battery came in and gave him extra power. He did run wide, hit a curb, but with the extra power, span the wheel, and that's why he hit the wall. So they had that issue. Both McLarens failed to start the China GP. Crazy. So Oscar hasn't run a GP. They did run the sprint race yesterday, which was won by Russell, I think, from memory, followed by the Ferraris. But it's very much team-based competition currently, because the Mercedes started 1-2, Ferrari were 3-4, then the McLarens were 5-6. Then I think there was an Alpine thrown in there, and then there was another team that started after them. Might have been the Red Bulls started together. So this is like the cars are very similar to each other, and there's been a lot of talk because of the battery delivery. It's all about charging your battery, maintaining your battery, deploying your battery. The boost button. Very Mario Kart, as in, get to the right spot and then press your button to make a pass. So they think there's a lot of talk about driver skills being taken out of it, and it's very machine driven, which is why you're seeing Mercedes, who have the exceptional power unit at the moment, dominating, winning both races so far, with Ferrari close second, and then, the kind of a drop off from everywhere else. So it's an interesting kind of how it's played out. Like, you look at those numbers, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Like, it's just how the top of the teams kind of, it's set in stone. We'll have to see how things play out. But I think a lot of teams aren't happy with how the racing is, because there's a lot less braking, because the energy recovery slows the cars down so they don't have to brake. There's not as much power delivery, so the cars aren't faster. So in Australia, Russell was on pole, and he was 3.5 seconds slower than pole sitter last year, which is an age in F1. He probably wouldn't have qualified in the top 10, probably wouldn't have qualified in the top 15 in the previous year. So that's kind of where the change comes from. So it's a lot of management. They're talking a lot about battery and battery deploying, and of course the commentators are trying to sell everyone on this, but I think a lot of people that understand the racing, the actual racing side of it, aren't as happy. We have to see how the season plays out, though, of course.
Was that Kimi Antonelli's first win today?
First win, first pole as well for him.
Wow.
Youngest pole sitter ever at 19 years and 200-ish days or something like that.
In August.
Born in August. Actually, no, it'd be less than that. It'd be
Quick
not
maths.
doing quick math on that. Not the youngest driver to win a race, I believe.
Who was that? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, you can find that out for me. But he did go on to win. I think Russell second? Yeah, it was Verstappen, and he was 18. Yeah. I think Russell was second. Hamilton was third. And Leclerc, I'm assuming, finished fourth for that race in China. So
Antonelli is the second youngest to ever win one.
Yep. Can you find out for me the next race? Because they have, of course, cancelled Bahrain and Saudi Arabia GPs coming up.
So Japan is next in 2 weeks.
Yes.
What's after that? So you go Japan.
Bahrain
I think they're
is
Miami.
after.
Oh no! So this is where they've closed that gap. So you
Yeah.
got a big gap between March and the 3rd of May because they've
Which is where
cancelled
Bahrain was.
Bahrain and Saudi Arabia
back to
were
back.
back
I
to
think it
back.
was Qatar, wasn't it?
They're at the back end of the year, so they might be watch this space.
Yeah.
Abu
Yeah,
Dhabi's at
yeah,
the end.
yeah. They were the ones that got moved.
Yeah. So I think there's 2 in April.
Interesting.
They've
So you're going to have a month break.
month break, yeah, because there's meant to be 24 races, I believe.
Must be so hard for them to, at the drop of a hat, to say,
They
hey,
might
hey,
actually-
can someone host an
Yeah,
F1
exactly.
event, right?
Well, considering I think they have
They'll
Spa.
have a summer break somewhere in there as well.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
July.
there's a month.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, between July and August. Yeah, there's a month. Yeah. So another big break after Japan, which was in 2 weeks. But we'll have to see if the teams can make any significant changes. Because some of the Cadillacs struggling; they can barely finish a race. The Aston Martins can't finish a race. They had, I think, 5 retirements in Australia. They had 7 today. So the cars.
Carnage.
Yeah, it's a big it is a big change. It's probably too much change all at once. Is probably correct, Peppy. So they'll have a bit of beast to figure out and to try and solve their problems.
Peppy knows F1. Anything to add, Max?
Good to see Oscar race
Yeah.
for the Australian fans.
Yeah.
He's been very unlucky.
He has been. No, not really. I think that's it.
I think they said it was the
I think
first
everything
time in
else.
70 years that a driver has had 2 DNFs for the first 2 races.
Really?
Yeah.
Really.
That's a bad start. I've seen a good meme that Oscar Piastri is the only bloke in Melbourne that knows how to do a hook turn.
True.
That's it.
All right. This is On The Esky. It's an Aussie sports podcast. We like to chat all sports around the world. We particularly like our footy in the wintertime, but also like our international sport. We will be keeping a close eye on the NFL as it leads into the NFL draft about a month away, and as our footy seasons really start to take shape in this sort of run through towards Anzac Day. And the NBA starts to heat up and actually get really interesting. Plus, going to be a massive few months in the UFC, that's for sure, leading up to the biggest UFC event ever in June, which we just had a chat about. We'll probably have a chat in a couple of weeks' time, I'd reckon. Or may even be 3 weeks. It might be around Easter, but
Yes.
watch the socials to see when we'll be back next. Thank you. If you are finding us for the first time, please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more dribble and sports chat.
Yep.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Have a good week.
You too.
Catch you next time on The Esky.
Bye.
Bye.